talented Arc and how much value they can find on these entries.
Well, folks, buckle in because the hype levels are up to 9,000. And when you have a matchup as epic as this, you really need two epic commentators to drive home the action. Take it away, Pansy and Hypot.
Thank you, GB, the desk. Yeah, this is certainly the ultimate showdown in Sao Paulo. But Mike, this is the game that will finally break that deadlock here.
Absolutely, yeah. Mimi touched on this. Obviously, tied series, 3-3 maps, 9-9. The round differential is 200 to NRG, 197 to Loud. Championships 1-1. One being a little more weighted, but this is such a wild history to this matchup.
Inseparable, these two, certainly becoming the El Clasico of Valorant. And we start off on Split, one of my favorites. Mike, what are we looking out for here?
I mean, I'm looking out for what NRG have prepped here. We talk about NRG being such a heavy-oriented prep team. Actually, early on here, hold that thought for a moment. Ardis spotted 4 and Loud, no secrets on the way through to heaven.
No, NRG looking to silence this crowd who are boisterous today. Ardis under a lot of scrutiny early on, but actually keeps his composure, keeps his cool. Loud have a decent amount of space though, taking over towards heaven. He will be challenged here, and he has lost down. Sanak doing well in the crowd, certainly happy about it. But they haven't broken through towards the site, and you can already see the rest of the map is starting to look heavier and heavier cleared by NRG.
This space clearance is insane by Loud. They've almost read this ropes rotation. Might be able to isolate Som here. It's got to be less to find it though. Can Som slip away? He's found it.
Beautiful. This should be indicative that this B site is now under pressure. Spikes can be planted, but again, Som quite close by. Not going to give up too much space. Should allow for a retake to come into effect. Time now.
Sadak has to hold the fort here.
Oh,
the timing on the reflow is absolutely insane.
3v3 now. Tui's holding towards CT as well. This is nice positioning from them. Really taking over one space of the map, but they have left heaven open now for potentially this build back in from Victor, but deep angles to clear and limited time.
Victor going to make his way down towards Hell here. Finesse. Still trying to hold on here. Actually, the smoke's going to provide a little cover, but the aggression should come back through heaven.
This is really nice. So they're putting the pressure on. They're trying to make this work. And Finesse is down. First strike for Loud here. Pistol's theirs.
And a massive contrast here, even in the pistol round. Look at how active Loud are around the entire map throughout here. Ardis finds that opening kill, but he's almost boxed in. He's forced to stay on rafters there. Obviously, the two members of NRG committed towards site. They can't do anything. The rotation doesn't come through CT. It's a push through mid on the other side of the map. Som luckily picking up that kill onto less. Like you said, it should be the green light basically for NRG to find that rotation, but Loud able to close out. Even in the post farm, look at them. They're drifting all the way back through spawn, clearing all this space. Nobody's tucked into a crossfire.
Loud should walk away with this round. We do have classics and one frenzy for NRG. Nice positioning from Ardis, but checked on very diligently. Aspas making no mistakes here. Does eventually fall to FNS, who was waiting with that classic, but still 4 players alive for Loud, and that weapon has been thrown back into the hands of the new blood here. So let's see where they decide to go. NRG still trying to play these corners, but the utility here from Loud should be very telling.
Som not going to be able to do much to stop this. No. And 2 members of NRG still over towards A site, at least considering the rotation now. And with the audio cue here from Som, the plants coming through.
I will say though, this does become a little bit more arena Valorant, something I haven't really talked too much about in previous events, because the crowd has certainly not been like this. You can feel it in your bones in this arena. Things may look a little different out here now, but as it stands, NRG have recovered the Spectre. I thought that did actually got filtered back in, but no, not at all. Not too clean here. Already losing on 2, but any more would be quite surprising. Crashies may decide to dip away here.
Going to try and catch an exit maybe. Catching an exit through spawn here. Force Crashies to give it up to the spike. Now will find their second. 3 survive. Let's see with the Bulldog in hand as well. Curious to see, and again, just to come back to the compositions, talking about obviously NRG being a prep-heavy team, and on my side, really, it comes towards what NRG can achieve on the defensive side. This comp is kind of one-dimensional, right? It's kind of focused around aggression, obviously isolating these kills early on, but the late round becomes very weak for Loud if they're not rewarded.
They should be hyper aware of this. I want to see how that develops throughout this game. Now we see the buy back in, and of course Loud riding this bonus through. Still got a Bulldog to bring into effect. First contact made. Victor, lovely work, good trade. Now Heaven's open, but look at the extremity. A fight happens, but Loud still making this hyper competitive somehow. Scrappy in this, and Aspas does get himself the rifle 2Es as well.
Two separate one-for-ones there. Could be a little problematic here for Loud with less disconnected, but should be able to give Aspas some support. NRG are looking to creep through this smoke and spawn though. They waiting for a flash from Ardis?
Sure
no flash left actually.
Yeah, what would be the go signal? Just waiting on it to fade at this point. Spike is down. Ardis beginning to clear towards Heaven. Actually does catch one of the players with that knife, so Aspas going to be filtering back through, looking to try and support, and it's a shot and a half. Huge impact hit, and Crashes now a 1v2. Brutal. Out of the bonus, Loud. Turning the screws here, and Crashes knows this time is dwindling, and it is a crossfire. If he gets one, it would be a miracle here. 3 now for Loud. NRG need to make their response and make it fast.
Yeah, huge conversion for Loud here in the third. See if NRG will throw maybe a couple of stingers at this. No real ultimates to work with just yet. Loud actually not even. Yeah, there's online. Actually, this round it looks a little strange in my eyes for NRG to be taking two separate kind of one-for-ones there.
Yeah.
You know that Loud are going to be stacked up. They're going to look to try and convert these SMGs. I said this comp is built around isolating that opening engagement, and then NRG give them two separate opportunities to achieve that.
As it stands, NRG not really finding the impact they wanted here. Slow start, yes, we've known that in the past from them. Always able to turn a game around, or never losing twice was the classic from last year that we talk about. But here, Loud really do get the perfect start. Kalanzine opening the site, and Som going should be the green light here. Yes, they're trying to filter through from Heaven, but look at what they're working with. Those stingers really unable to close the gap, and Loud striding through the round. No issues so far. With Crashies and Ardis looking to try and be disruptive as possible, but zero chances being offered. Loud looking really robust. Aspas, yes, will take a bit of damage, but caught in the end by Crashies. But again, Crashies would need something beyond his means. Loud looking good to the fourth. I want to see that buyback here for NRG because this could spiral now.
Yeah, going through the motions here. NRG unable to really put up too much of a fight with this weapon diff. Beautiful open up from Kalanzine though. Ultimate's just about coming online for Loud. The Cosmic Divide, the Seekers, the Blade Storm to work with here. Cosmic Divide on the other side of things, but one of the key ultimates missing here for a crucial buy round for NRG to stop this early momentum, Lauren.
Yeah, Som on Operator too.
Ooh, okay.
See how that looks. I'm down to find out.
I'm watching Navera VODs.
Yeah, apparently so, but Ardis unable to even see, just knew the right place and the right time and sprayed and hoped for it. Flash finds nothing, but Crashies is on the site, so Aspas has his work cut out here. Kalanzine with him. Stunning shot. Crashies deleted, and the site's now open and available. The Divide's going to keep them more than safe for this plant. And 4 players in the post plant with that Operator in play for Som. Going to be tricky to bring this into effect.
You have a Cosmic Divide to invest here. If they choose to.
Does Les get isolated? They're worried here. Actually falls away and finds a touch of safety, but yeah, he's cooked. What? Les! Victor fortunately will find it with the satchel, but it is still a 3v2. I still want to see them try and get towards this side. They know there's still going to be one player on site. It's Kalanzine.
What is that shot?
The rocket comes through, but now just one. Aspas falls to the knees. And Som going to make it there just about in time.
I don't think he's got it. I don't think he's got it. It's going to be so close.
It's so close here. Oh! Som! Lucky as you like, and the boos ring out. They don't like what they're seeing here, but NRG finally stopping the flood.
I mean, it was so late in the day for that to come through. It's on the back of Victor actually picking up the 2K. The showstopper comes online, and that's the difference maker with these 2 kills, Lauren.
And even that shot from Kalanzine, I mean,
what
bloody
is
hell.
that?
Som.
Yeah, not even close, right?
Yeah, no sweat, no sweat. Well, the operator stays into place still with Som, and we're looking on the outside too. He's going to start running that as well.
Very interesting face-off here with the operators. The two Spectres to round out the purchase for NRG. Loud with the upper hand in that regard. Artist being rewarded a number of times here from this position.
If he finds a way to maybe capitalize further than this, he would become such a monster to handle in this position. Generally has been found afterwards. This time succeeds again. Yes, down low, but causing such a problem towards ramp. And considering he's kind of alone on this, that could have been an issue. Yes, now he's got support from the side, but the breakthrough middle's happening. FNS, it's a whole lot of trouble coming his way, and Loud have won out in middle. Where do they want to go? The A site, they probably noted on that utility, but the spike is a mile away, deep over towards sewers.
Yeah, they actually can't collapse onto a site on the back of this. They do equalize in terms of head count here. Artist tagged down to 16 HP. That could be the difference maker here. Cowanzine, did he spot him? Yeah, he did. He gets pinged out on the map. So Som has to reposition here. Artist slowly creeping this direction. Does have his ultimate, so can actually rip away the showstopper. And he does just that.
Oh my word, he's been denied! He's just absolutely denied! NRG just stopping them in their tracks. Cowanzine can do nothing about this! Surrounded NRG, what a round at the end!
A beautiful ultimate from Artist there, just to shut down that explosion through heaven. NRG find their second.
Found their footing, finally.
Yeah. Curious here how the purchase will sit for Loud on the back of that. This is the thing, 16 HP still able to have a huge impact on that round with the ultimate.
Yeah.
And this was with Som being noted on the Trailblazer as well, so you know full well Sanak's going to hunt down that kill.
Still a buy in hand for Loud here, so they're going to be able to get those rifles up, but you did just hear the ult going through, and that's invested towards middle from NRG. Deciding they want that under wraps, it has been a key point for Loud to try and explore, potentially late round as well, but a heavy lean towards B here, maybe looking to explore what that B site actually looks like a little earlier in this, but on the other side, of course, Som, waiting ice trained on this, has been good for it so far.
I was going to say, he's got to be careful that he doesn't get isolated here on backside. As if the Trailblazer
He's
come
calling
through,
for
try and
support.
spot him out. So he can't hold this angle.
No, but he's got a second chance at life here, and Victor, wonderful timing to come over as the 1-2 punch. Aspas, he needs a frag here, and he's just not getting it. Victor playing the time well, Som not relinquishing the angle either. This could be deadly, though. Gap closed, and Loud move in. Sights there's waving that Brazilian banner, and now the spikes will be planted. This is hard work for NRG, but that ult could help.
Absolutely can, but the plant is good for main. So Loud can reset on this. Look at the lurk from Les. Can he destroy the lockdown?
It's getting so tense here. The timing's everything, and he's absolutely done what is needed. It's game back on now. Where's that next pressure point built from here? Aspas! Oh my god, he's got one! Takes out FNS, the underhand flash should have blinded, but still gonna find the frag. It's just Crash, he's alive. 3 players surrounding him, 1 up top, 2 to the right, 20 HP. The crowd getting louder. How does he do anything in this?
And the reads here from Loud, totally on point. On the other side of things for NRG, I got to say, a little behind that. They know that these hits are going to be invested. With this composition in particular, there's 3 separate bits of utility spotted here, and there's just not enough support for sight.
Well,
Loud just overwhelmed this setup, and it's such a huge indicator that that Viper spit in mid is still up. They know that they can basically eliminate a body from any engagement that they take.
Yeah. I was, and that's so indicative of how quickly and how well they collapsed towards that backside of pillar there, just taking away the 2 players who were able to be present. Now shattering the economy of NRG, it puts them back down to pistols, and I think there's a stinger in play, yeah. But that's about it. Let's see what Loud can do to keep it clean. Seeing them a little bit more postured up, a little bit deeper on ramp finally. Artists traditionally sitting a little bit back further by rafters. Let's have Crashies playing the closer angle. Aspas seems aware of the possibility. Needs to be cautious on this, a little bit of a gap. Couldn't bring it down, but Les, the hero to save Aspas there, bails him out from any sort of tomfoolery that could have happened. And just slowly chipping away at this ramp hold, pulling rotations now. They're going through the motions well here.
Indeed. Almost some awareness that Artist has set up for this position deep on ramp. Once again, the read absolutely on point from Loud here.
Yeah, it's so good.
Look at the minimap right now.
Not going to sell much on B. I'm looking at there's still a player on that B side, still trying to do something. His 2E's just maybe showing a little, keeping them there a little bit longer than they'd like. That could be a big lurk coming in, but Artis tries to find a moment to strike, and it's not going to happen. Less doing wonderfully this round. Aspas as well, clean work. Again, this was just a small investment from NRG. This wasn't a huge purchase. And 2E's lurk is wonderful. Lovely positioning, not going to allow FNS any room to breathe. Loud, 5 alive, a Prime Gaming flawless.
And this is beautiful as well. With Les being so active in some of these rounds on that lurk, what do they show towards A? It's an operator and it's Les. So they're almost reading this is where they're going to drift away from. They actually lean heavily towards stacking that B site, anticipating that hit coming through.
You can hear the crowd. It's because of the NRG timeout. Booing. First time, yes, we talk about NRG being a little bit villainous at times, but certainly now having the crowd kind of really signifying that is quite something to hear. But now in the timeout, Chet's got the opportunity with FNS to maybe have some conversations of how they want to approach the rest of this half.
Absolutely. I'm wondering if this is the point where we do see a huge overhaul of how NRG are approaching this defense. Obviously, we talk about this time and time again. They don't have the benefit of the economy to pull back on here. These rounds become so precarious here. We're coming into round 9. We're at a 4-round deficit here for NRG. But they have to make something work here.
Yeah, the buys are so sporadic at this point, at least the full purchases. And you look at the money starting to swell behind Loud. You've got 5K, 6K, 4, sitting really quite comfortably. Still have that ult as well from Les. A couple of things to now bring in here. So this is a big timeout for NRG. They need to come up with something that's going to break this game back in, potentially even their favor.
Going to take a lot for NRG. Loud really building momentum here. Victor getting closer and closer to that showstopper, but talked about it a couple of times, NRG just haven't had the benefit of ultimates in some of these key rounds. That first buy round, yes. Curious, there's not been I mean, other than Artis drifting over, maybe a little aggression towards B main, maybe going to try and dig out this lurk, but Loud are just going to try and sell a bit of a fake early on. Now they have the benefit of, you know, having shown that some of these hits are invested, it's 4 or 5 people behind it. I just want to plant the seeds of doubt. Now the benefit being NRG actually have some utility to confirm that it is a fake AWP.
Yeah.
There's confirmation without it being triggered that nobody's made their way up towards heaven.
Yeah, you can see that there's still some consideration from Artis having to come back around, but you're right. That's very telling though. Som needs to be on red alert now. He's got the entirety of Loud coming his way. Tries to make a quick escape back towards Pillar, but we saw that overwhelm before. Needs to make a better hold of this one, and Sadak the first man forward, it looks like. Smoke's going in and away they go. Sadak and Aspas in unison. Som towards the back of the site, still holding his nerve. The site is looking like it's under Loud control, but look at what Som's got. Still an opportunity here to do some more damage. The pre-fire, he's still standing. He's still finding some kills here. But it's 3 against 2, and the spike's going down. Crashies trying to lean a little earlier on this, but they're still so aware. Aspas unrelenting in this, leaving just FNS. Allowed right out of the back of the timeout from NRG, stamping their authority back into this game. The 7th seeming so likely now.
Now just showing no respect to this operator
Beautiful.
as well. 2Es to close things out. That's another example. We're talking about being overwhelmed. Loud are so quick to react. They spot that it's Som. He's been playing an operator and they just look to overwhelm. And once again, it's the timing in this rotation. The fact that Loud are able to come through, force Som so deep on the backside, deny any of these angles, means that they can pick up this pressure towards heaven. They know that Som can't anchor both heaven and main. So all they do is they pick up all of those kills in rotation so quickly.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if they continue to try and commit behind this switch up here. Already seeing Crashies maybe looking to try and stamp some sort of control towards that B side, but again, this is with Stingers, so as it stands, they should be comfortable towards A. Come around, Som is here. You have FNS as well. And Artis over towards those ropes for Loud, already taken over. Perfect beginnings towards ramp. Artis is going to take a boatload of damage. Actually lucky to still be standing on that. Som, what a shot. That's less gone. FNS keeps his cool, but he gets outdone. 180 and slapped back. A handprint left on the face. But the plant once again will be in, and Loud look unstoppable now.
Yeah, there's very little NRG can get done in some of these rounds. Or even through fault of their own. Loud just embracing this double duelist composition. Commitment behind every piece of utility.
Nothing going to waste.
No, just throwing bodies on the line together.
Very impressive to watch.
Maybe at this point the exits don't matter. Just don't want to feed across some ultimates here.
Yeah. Victor only one away from his. Crash is not super far away, but Aspas light work towards Ardis. So we'll be seeing them trying to build towards us, noting these players too. He's farming now. Some of these young guns starting to feel really good on this stage, it looks like.
6-round difference here. The buy comes through around 11. Makes it very difficult if NRG don't win this. We're staring down potentially a 10-2 half here.
Yeah.
But some of these gunfights that should, or they look like they should go in favor of NRG, just don't.
There is something behind this Loud team right now. You could argue, is it an upgrade, was it a downgrade? It's too early to tell with some of these player changes. In my mind, they are absolutely worth their weight in gold currently. Double stack towards Ramflo. A different look here. Crashies, F&S on the case. Oh, but Sadak, nothing could go wrong for this man. Just, oh my God, he got another. Crashies, decimated.
It's all a fake. It's the same fake as a couple of rounds ago now.
Oh,
Som gonna have his hands full on B.
Som, he's overwhelmed. Loud. They are striding through this game. Confidence sky high. Plant once again in. And I'm looking for that late lurk as well coming through Cowanzine. The positioning could be deadly. Fever needs it. Ardis and Victor trying to work through from heaven now, but the ult's in place.
Seal the deal on this site and the round potentially as well, unless Ardis and Victor can get anything done here. Information off the boom bot. But actually the stun comes through. That's going to slow Ardis down a little bit.
The time is dwindling and Tui's just thriving! Loud making it up to 9. NRG are folding under this pressure.
Buckling. Som once again just overwhelmed. He's left as this anchor again.
There's only so much he can do.
Absolutely. And now they're just so good. NRG are trying to react so quickly to some of this pressure coming through, but even halfway through that, I think at the first point of contact, Loud are already rotating away from this. Throw a little bit of utility out. NRG unfortunately hitting the panic button. Just seeing these rash decisions, they come through when they don't have the benefit of the finances. They've had no comfort whatsoever in this half, Lauren.
No, they haven't. Loud wanting those double digits on that first half attempt here. NRG exploring towards A, but there is a deep hold here. It is less. And is this another read? This feels like it's been reading the NRG book, but Som has found value. Finally, a little bit of reprise after what has been a brutal half for him on the B side.
That's big damage, so.
Massive from Crashies. This is
What
the
a
switch up that we
combo.
saw coming out in one of those kind of stinger rounds, now finding value here in the buy.
What a combo, even with the snake bite on top. Look at this lurk though. I'll say the flank actually coming through from Victor. He's outside B main right now. Did retrieve that rifle.
Oh, unaware that Som could have been on the site. Good trades in Aspas. Venomous in heaven. 2v3, Cowanzine and Aspas. Oh my word, Som's just around the corner. The smoke drops and Victor's there. And now Aspas, let's see what you got. Hometown hero, anything to be done? No. Clutching in the final round here. NRG holding on to a potential scoreline, Mike. It's not much, but it's 3 rounds to play with.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best of a bad scenario, to be honest with you. This almost felt like it should have been 10-2 on this half.
Yeah.
Loud playing absolutely lights out here on split. Unfortunately, some of the things I was looking towards as the positives, NRG not bringing an awful lot in terms of the prep. Maybe we see it in the second half here, Lauren.
And that's what we're going to be looking out for, but I want to hear the thoughts from the desk.
Thank you so much for that. And look, I think it's safe to say NRG thought that they had it, and now they're just getting sucked in the mouth here on Split. Loud are playing unbelievable.
They are, and NRG here tried to challenge this double duelist composition, but I think the game plan they came in with had some issues. And to look back, I think a big part of that was some of these ideas around the way that they were anchoring sites and the commitment to opping on Som. This one in particular is round 9. Som is sitting backside alone on this Astra, trying to hold down the fort with the op operator, and he's going to get 2 kills here. That's great and all, but the issue is, when he's set up like this, it's really tough for him to use utility.
He doesn't
and
use
on
a
top of
single
that,
piece.
yeah, NRG is having to commit resources to help him. You see Victor kind of dives in to try and support Song, but just dies for nothing, and this means his commitments to trying to fight the site have meant that NRG's retakes have been dismal.
And I mean, look at the difference between Sadak's IG yelling style and FNS. This isn't specifically a point about this, but it's something to keep track of the whole tournament. Sadak's been playing a lot of Duelist. It empowers this crazy aggressive style. And he frags, man. He's up in people's faces, making plays all over the place. And now FNS really needs to rely on the brain element of his game. That's what he's known for. And so he's got to come up with a great game plan now on the attack side when their team plays much more slowly. They came in with a plan, it failed, and now they need to adjust. The crazy thing is, NRG only lost 4 full buy rounds, but it was every round that was the most important. That was the economy breaking rounds. So they've been put in a terrible hole, another slow start. It's on FNS's attack side calling to dig them out.
This is brutal, 9-3, and the thing is that Loud probably will not slow down. Even on this defensive side, they will continue to throw gambits, be aggressive, and have super powerful retakes with this double duelist composition. It's going to be super difficult for NRG.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, and Loud has no reason to slow down. Not in this arena, not with these people behind them, and NRG is going to have their work cut out for them, but I think it's safe to say Loud are on fire. Casters, over to you.
You're not wrong, GB. They certainly are. And at 9-3, Aspas, Tui, Sadak all putting in fantastic performances. And now they can truly let loose here.
Yeah, and this is where we actually come back to. I'm glad Bren touched on this on our Telestrated segment earlier on. That head-to-head, the difference, or the mid-round difference between FNS and Sadak. This is where we should see it employed from FNS. A focus on macro and punishing some of these missed positions, and how aggressive to Loud go on the defensive side here.
Well, it's an all-in coming out from NRG, but Aspas with a quick execution, wanted more, doesn't get it, but Sadak quickly swings. Lovely work between the two. NRG, though, still finding some value towards this site. Oh, Artis!
The fadeaway.
Nasty shot, nasty as hell. But Som is the walking wounded here, barely breathing at 4 HP. Come off it, what is that frenzy?
There's no trade. FNS is tucked in.
Oh my god, this is...
He wants to bank on this position, Lauren.
This is, it's so all in. Do they check on this? Tui's the young player himself, so much pressure on this one-man shoulders. He does come through from heaven. How meticulously do they clear? It's all on one. He drops down, Tui's! All too aware, 26 HP up against the 4! And the new Brazilian blood doing wonders for Loud. That's double digits starting out in the second half.
The Red Bull clutch in the pistol to get Loud to double digits. Even there, so many positives on the way in. NRG playing effective trades. That's where things stop here. I mean, less is 40 HP. Maybe that was just lost in the communication there. But it puts Som in such an awful position.
Yeah.
NRG throwing back in this one. SMGs, they're going to try and deathball back onto A site.
Just feels like a swan song, though. Kawanzine back by Pillar, up towards heaven. You got Aspas, you got Less. Where is the difference going to come from? Right there, Victor. Good start. FNS, he does convert the frag, though. Didn't get a trade for Aspas, so not out of the woods just yet, NRG. But they are clinging onto this round. Aspas, he's falling up towards Crashies. And again, Loud are just demolishing NRG. This is the best opportunity they've had in a moment's time. This is going to be 11 Artists. You need something out of this world, and it ain't going to happen. Tui's tying up this round, putting a bow on it. Sadak thriving in this. He knows he's got him on the ropes here at 11.
And it's similar to the first half. Loud happy to fight fire with fire. They scramble this rotation, and it's absolute commitment behind it. Everybody happy to commit to this engagement. What a clearance as well from Aspas. NRG,
yeah,
again, this is basically one opportunity.
They're looking quite shattered right now, really. This is their map choice too. What a scary factor here. Where you felt most comfortable.
And the problem being with this scoreline, we're not seeing some of the things we alluded towards NRG being that prep-heavy team, having some real opportunities to anti-strat Loud. We just haven't had a chance to see it.
No.
We kept using this word overwhelm in the first half, and that's all it felt like. Every Loud approach was looking to just pressure one person. Unfortunately, Som had the rough end of that in the first half a number of times.
And again, keep this in mind for NRG. He's currently top of the board, so he did the best he could with it.
He went down swinging.
Yeah, he did. There's brutality throughout this game. Loud at 11 already. And NRG, I don't know what options you really have here. Try and temper the pace. Loud look unstoppable so far.
They're toying with the purchase here. Again, we can obviously see the purchase on the other side. Loud still carrying SMGs into this, so it's as good as an equal fight as you're going to get here in round 15 at an 11-3 scoreline.
El Clasico getting to have the beauty of a home crowd. And it's certainly making a difference for Loud here. However, we go back in, and NRG have bought what they can. Potentially the dying breaths here in this map. And Spas, gotta be careful. Som is waiting.
Som on the rope here. Well, Aspas is going to commit to this here. Showing restraint. This is a spike there in Som's hands. FNS finally making his way across. NRG trying to pump a little bit of pressure towards mid. Maybe keep Sadak and Less in position, but the timing of the flash here going to confirm presence once again outside 8.
Aspas.
No dash here for Aspas though.
Cowanzine and Aspas waiting here for players on the other side. Contact made. Aspas, the perfect flash. It's 1 and it's 2. Aspas slicing through NRG. And their hopes being left in tatters now. Artist still trying to fight the fight for NRG. And they're biting on this. Does the spike go back through? Yes, it does. Artist immovable until then. Less catching him in the heels, and now where does that spike go?
30 seconds.
Crashes has slipped the net a little bit here.
But he has to find value. He can't
Yep.
put it all up to Som. He can't just hold this.
Problem being Cowanzine's a little disconnected. That might be the difference maker with Crashies slipping into spawn.
He won't even be able to clear Cowanzine here. Absolutely no way. And the time now is the biggest enemy to NRG. Crashies, he may be able to take down one.
It's done.
But the time is all but over. 3 seconds. He can just watch the clock rot. It's going to be 12. Loud running through NRG currently. The closest attempt we've seen so far. But the economy is going to be absolutely tatty from start to finish here for NRG. Full purchase could be had now for Loud, maybe missing some pieces. But they have been just going from strength to strength here, Mike.
And it's another round for Cowanzine and Aspas. This, again, I was talking the other day about Cowanzine being the second layer to some of these plays. They're just such a solid duo to put in a position like this where they can just take a scrappy little engagement, dip out, and it just creates a disadvantage for NRG. The other thing as well, you look at the mini-map back in that round, as soon as Artist gets that kill, they send 3 people barreling towards him.
Oh, Sadak unleashing, and well, didn't go to plan.
Is that a trade?
Hey, you know what, we'll call it that. And well, we'll call this round done, because Tui's has got 3 off of the hat trick, doesn't get the 4th, and Crashies. Have you got it in you? You got 1 minute to play with here. Has the spike, has a couple more seconds of safety, but those are dwindling now. What can he make of this? The flash, we'll note he's still on site. He's got 2 to try and get past Cowanzine and Less, and the timing. Crashies, he now knows. They cross the site, and he is petrified in this corner. Creeping closer to players. Crashies turns, and Loud are there. It's map 1, locked in for Loud. NRG falling to pieces in front of the 6th man here, who are on their feet already.
A very one-sided first map here, a statement made. NRG liked what they saw from Loud's previous appearance here with this composition. Loud almost doubling down on it, almost countering that read and going overly aggressive from what we saw previously. and making this composition work.
Get a second to compose themselves as Pearl will be that next battle to try and take on to. And some key moments throughout this. I mean, I've got to say for me as well, Tui's, Cowan's seen some critical impact in this. If we're talking about the new blood coming in, they are holding their weight here, Mike.
Absolutely, and just to come back to a comment as well, it's rough to see NRG, a team that mechanically are so on point usually. There was just a number of times where there was gunfights just not going their way, and that's really unfortunate to see. You can't really discredit them in that regard, because now they stuck to the game plan and it worked from the get-go. It's in the first half, NRG barely got a look in on those buy rounds, even converting round 12 that shouldn't have been the round that they won anyway.
No. A lot of issues starting to show for NRG here if this carries on forward. I mean, 3 rounds is just simply not enough, considering that was their map choice, considering you feel as though they came in with a game plan. I'm a little worried, but Pearl, do you think it gives them any sort of chance here?
Positive to build upon, obviously. We come back to that. You
Please.
need one? We come back to talk about NRG in terms of prep. Loud have shown their Pearl here. So what have NRG done to actually address that? Because we're coming in now, obviously, as Loud's map pick, they felt confident with it.
Okay, those are the questions I'm sure the desk will be breaking down as well, so let's hand it back over to them before we get ready for map 2.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
NRG thought that they could take the fight to Loud on their own turf, and Loud told them, "You gonna learn today, boy," as Loud dominates NRG on Split. And Mimi, what a showing for this Brazilian team that obviously has the 6-man behind them, but more importantly, just so much firepower in the battlefield.
Yeah, I mean, that attacking side was absolutely incredible. It is very rare that you watch an NRG game and you see Finesse get absolutely stumped by what they're playing against, but the pace of this double duelist composition and the pressure that Loud kept up along with the crowd behind them, NRG was just never able to overcome it.
Yeah, I also, again, want to point out that the side that NRG crumbled on was their defense, and incredibly pivotal rounds, round 7, round 9, they lost because they had invested in Som's operator, which was just the wrong game plan. That's half of the full buy rounds that they lost was based on that. I mean, Som's still not like bad at fragging by any means, but the anti-strategy just completely failed.
Yeah, and take a look at this one. I mean, Loud was calling a fantastic game. This is one of those rounds where Sadak was heading up ramp, and it was all a ruse. NRG bit on that fake twice, and consistently, that meant that Loud was getting these free site control into B, and their post runs were just excellent. With this double duelist comp, you can play some players forward, continue to fight in that post, and then rely on the great utility of that Astra Viper to be able to consistently close out those rounds.
Yeah, Sadak doing everything that FNS is known for, right? Running the elaborate fakes, mixing in the fast hits and the slow rounds, and also playing duelist and fragging out of his mind. So I really feel like people don't put enough respect on Sadak's name. He is clearly a goated IGL. He's got his team to crazy distances, picked up a trophy last year, and he frags like a maniac.
Yeah, it didn't really feel like we've seen his IGLing quite fully tested in the previous matches that this team has played, but here against NRG, the preparation and the adaptation from him just completely showed.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead, though, and look forward for a little bit here and talk about what is to come, because we are going to get some Pearl, and you were gushing about Sadak, but there are some gaps here that Sadak is going to need to clean up in order for him to be able to take this 2-0.
Yes, I mean, for NRG, they have picked maps where they've seen Loud before. Their anti-Stratton failed on Split, but I think there's a clear weakness here. They're going to be starting on the attack side, which means Sadak is playing defense. And look at the stat difference. It's obvious here. Sadak defends on the B site most of the time. He's a B site anchor, and he has been getting brutalized. So to me, Sadak has got to have a good start to the second map, and for NRG, for FNS, they have got an obvious weakness to attack.
Yeah, that they do. I think that this next map is going to be very important. It's going to be another test to see if NRG do have a better answer there, because clearly did not work on Split.
Yeah, it was just, look, I'm just excited to see Loud just take it to NRG. Everyone thought that this team would just walk on that stage, feel the pressure, keel over, and die, and that is simply not happening, and that is exactly what we want to see. Makes for an exciting matchup. But of course, let's go ahead and move on, though, to our Verizon high-speed moment of the match, and we got to give the flowers to Tui's here, round 16. My boys in the pressure cooker, hanging around the corner, caps 3 just like that, and at that point, the round was basically done. I mean, it was done with the first 2 kills, and the third one was the icing on the cake.
Yeah, I mean, look at the difference, though, in terms of how the comms work. Tui's can play close up to the choke because he doesn't have someone blast packing behind him. He can get help from heaven. He can use his Astra utility. It's all of this different way that the two teams are approaching things. And I actually don't think NRG crumbled under the pressure of the crowd or the pressure of the moment. I think they crumbled under the pressure of the aggression.
Yeah.
It was an actual in-server, in-game pressure. It's very different. These guys know what it's like to play on the big stage. They're not getting nervous. They're getting overrun.
Yeah, it's like I feel like it's a combination of everything, right?
Yeah.
It's like all the sum of the parts together. The largest one being the incredible composition that we saw there, but then just all the other intangibles that are playing out here. It has been utterly fascinating to watch here, but here's the thing. Whenever I play Valorant, which thank God I'm not right now because I'd be sweating you see my scalp right now. The lobby, of course, is always yelling at me, telling me that I need to spend more time in Aim Lab. So let's go ahead and see what all this fuss is about and check out our Aim Lab shoot around here as we got Les, and that was quite the throw, who is doing his shoot around, and I think he's just vibing right now. But in any case, we can take this as an opportunity to continue to gush more, Mimi, about how Loud have been playing, because they truly have been lights out.
Is this how you warm up?
I didn't even realize he was using his face. I thought he was like wiping his brow.
No, it's like an exfoliator, isn't it? He's just got something on the bottom of his mouth. Yeah. Careful you don't accidentally give yourself laser eye surgery as well. That is not a good idea.
He is playing a dangerous game for
What a
sure.
guy.
But, I mean, this is a standard lurker warm-up here. You don't have to touch your mouse until the late rounds. Very good to see out of him. And that's what I'm looking forward to on Pearl when he plays this Viper. When they get to that attacking side, the lurks that he can provide, I felt like he's been really enabled in this event thus far. But of course, Loud is starting on the defense, which Josh, you already pointed out is a weakness.
Yeah, it is a bit of a weakness. I don't feel like that's necessarily because of Les. He's been one of their best performing, if not the best performing player on Loud so far. But I really think that more of the pressure on their defense side is going to be on Aspas getting aggressive, because that's very feast or famine, and then Sadak anchoring. So early round, it's going to be on Aspas, can he get value? And then in the mid round, once the sight hits come through for NRG, can Sadak actually hold on? Those are the big two things that I'll be paying attention to in this first half.
Well, there it is. The second map is going to be Pearl, and Loud are right there at the precipice of being able to sweep NRG here and make it to our semifinals. And coming into this game, Mimi, I felt like it was going to be a close matchup, but after that split, I think I might be on the Loud train.
Yeah, they are looking fantastic right now. But here's the big question. What has NRG cooked up? They have seen Pearl before. I'm sure that they expected to play this against Loud, and they have not showed this composition in quite a long time. Last time they were playing no duelist. It was the old edition of this team, and I'm really wondering what read they have on this map.
Well, ask and you shall receive, because the Prime Gaming Agent Select is about to come through. And yeah, let's see. I mean, NRG, they played the Harbor last time as well, like that. I mean, or not last time, but the NRG, we have seen Harbor being played on here, and it has been pretty effective. That could very well be the case, and it definitely is. An Artist on the Raze.
I mean, that is bizarre. Yeah, we're going to get Artist Raze and Som on Harbor, so they're going for something totally different. NRG previously were insanely good on this map. Last time they played against Loud, they beat them 13-3, wasn't close, but it's just totally new now. This is a new page to this rivalry, and we're going to get to see Victor against Kawanseen, Aspas playing against Artist. It's going to be pretty heads up. But I also think I just don't have too much faith in the anti-stratton based on what we saw on Split. NRG are going to have to turn me around into being a believer again.
The thing that does give me some hope is I think Raze is a really good pick into this Harbor composition that Loud is playing. Great anti to that Cove when you're playing on your defensive side.
True. And
can provide a lot of value with Artist's star power.
All right, well, here it goes. We're ready for map number 2, so let's go ahead and send it back over to your casters. Here's Pansy and Hypoc.
Yeah, Mike, it would be a miss if we don't start by looking towards Artist, though, as well here. What are you making of this?
I could be wrong with this. I'm going to take a punt here. Somebody from Red or VLR is going to correct this.
Go ahead.
I don't think Artist has played Raze since like 2021. We're talking like G2 Heretics
era.
Raze. I was trying to rack my brain, and I can't think of the last time. So this is one that obviously they've come in.
They've cooked up
something. They've cooked something. It's unorthodox to see it come out here on the Pearl. We haven't seen an awful lot of it. But what we do know here, coming across to the Loud side, Tui's and Kawanseen have put up huge performances on this map, and that's going to be a real concern for NRG to deal with.
We go back in, NRG on the attacking side, which of course then means Loud gets to greet them at the door. Bit of contact made over towards B-Long, and rotation starting to begin with the exploration from Aspas in tow. They should be pretty confident in this.
No secrets on the way in. No pressure actually returning here. Sadak will get caught by the Trailblazer, and NRG looking to collapse on that.
Yeah, Sadak's in a little bit of trouble. He absolutely is. Good trade from Leslo to keep this somewhat favorable, but the spike isn't going to be planted just yet. It is actually left a little loose here. That could be a problem. Does get back in hand. FNS can slip back towards site. No harm, no foul on that. And the plant should be coming in. That late lurk from Aspas will become a factor eventually.
But look at the positioning here. 2 NRG players up towards Heaven.
They've got to be so aware of where this retake is going to be starting from as well. Crashy's denied vision, but tries to take a little step through. This is the alarm bot to put into play if he wants it. FNS considering getting close to the wall as well.
A late flank coming through. Aspas got to get something done here. Nobody on the side of NRG showing to long, though.
No, they're sitting deep on the site, but the wrong timing shown here. Tui's makes light work of FNS. Cause in the swing. Crashy's trying to do what he can, but Les is certainly more right now! As Aspas finally makes his debut on the site. But Les having a wonderful amount of impact with Tui's.
Painful timing to see that first kill come through, and Loud just explode on the back of it. NRG trying to run the clock down in that post plant, but able to find enough. That's the point where actually that setup on site with 2 towards spawn initially, actually 2 towards heaven, could maybe have stood the test.
Wow.
See, it's instantaneous, the response from Loud. Barely even on the back of communication. You see that in the kill feed, and they just flood site.
NRG going to be buying back in with the Stingers. It looks somewhat rinse and repeat for me here. Back to work towards B. You can see on the other side of the map, Loud just going through the same process. It looks almost identical to round 1. That's a little bit of a difference. So Sadak will have to respect this now and back off.
And trade-off of shots at least, but no real damage to write home about. Similar execution once again for NRG. Get themselves up onto site, but see, yeah, a lot of damage coming through, probably in favor of Loud. Might even try and prioritize the flank a little bit with 2 members this time around. It's Cowanzine and Aspas.
Yeah,
but it's Victor to hold down the fort or pillar.
Still no flashback for Victor either. There it is, just about ticking through. So the back of the dog, does he decide to go for it? Yeah, he does. So good flash, a little bit of a dash, but seeing the dog, you now know there's 2 there. Turns the flash just fine. Now the pressure comes in, but Victor only gets 1 here. That's the benefit of having the double stack there, and Loud now just flooding the site. Less. Great pick towards it. Sadak finding Soma now, just crashes. Can he buy the time? He's so cold with it too, didn't even doubt it on the defuse. And that's a second for Loud before standing.
NRG looking to scrap with Loud in these first 2 rounds. Happy to get down and dirty on site. Not going in their favor. This is with the adjustment of this composition as well. And to just being Aspas being the duelist. Obviously with that investment, let's see if NRG do want to throw anything else in here. But 2 on the board for Loud to kick things off.
Yeah, flawless record so far here. NRG did drop that map to Giants, and of course now dropping that first one in this series, so slightly different look here. Similar scenes at the beginning though, so Sadak's still going to be aware that there is very much presence towards the B side, but we are now seeing a mid lane and a mid lurk, or at least some presence on this split coming through. Maybe testing the rest of the map here, NRG trying to find a couple of facts here. Cowanzine and Aspas, the timing on that dog is perfect. That's very telling that this is a different round. Let's see how it looks though.
I guess other than Aspas being noted on that late flank, not the awareness is there initially. NRG going to drift away from that. Once again looking to find their way onto B side, pressuring Sadak once again. Does have less in support and less is already worth his weight in gold.
So dangerous, he needs to make it, he doesn't make it in time, but he actually takes down FNS! Goes back, oh my word! How is that happening? Sadak putting in a captain's performance here. And Sam trying to do a little bit of a dance, but again, not even cresting towards the site this time. Can he do some damage? Yeah, he can. Sam lovely. Can do a bit more. Not going to get much though. As the time beginning to dwindle, those 3 players closing in Loud, making it to 3.
And they will ride the wave as well. 3 surviving, 2 rifles brought across here, so in a position effectively to double down on that bonus. Viper's bit available now. Look at Les and Sadak. The amount of pressure they've been under, but they've passed with flying colors so far. Les will have the Viper's bit already. Sadak 1 away from the lockdown. NRG not too far off in terms of this first ult cycle. Aspas looking to get aggressive this time.
Yeah, what a difference. Switching it up a little here.
The difference being the Viper's bit immediately invested towards A main. Cloud may be reading an adjustment here from NRG. And this pressure could force them towards that Viper's pit.
Certainly could, and the audacity for Loud to continue this way. The agility for the dog, off the charts. Aspas though, this is a big challenge here. And yeah, they're re-aggressive this way. Quite telling, saw a lot there though.
Well, no, actually, Cowanzine didn't get flashed by that, so he's not going to be noted.
The young Bulldog in the corner. Do NRG do their due diligence here? Got to check on this. You can see them trying to maybe send him into play. Oh my God, he's gone away with daylight robbery. It's only 1. That could have been so much worse. And Tui's now outdone, outgunned. Artist striding forward. They want the site under control.
We'll get it here with the lockdown. Cove just to seal the deal. Plant is open for long here, and you can see 3 members of NRG already drifting a little further. Going to tuck Artist in. Hope that he can do some damage. There's supportive utility as well from FNS just to cut off that push into elbow.
And we want to see a big game here from Artist. Not a bad round so far already. Now the final 3. Still need to keep this safe. Les, not really given many opportunities now, though. Sitting deep towards long. This is near on unwinnable. Yeah, 60 HP here, and I think he knows it.
Obviously with this early start, Sadak and Les down at 800 credits. Not sure exactly where Kawanzin's going to sit, but should be fairly comfortable for this purchase with Les carrying a rifle across. Yeah, I was curious to see if the operator comes out now. It's crazy that Kawanzin, it almost looks like it's a lazy clearance on the first.
Yeah, because I thought they checked it.
It looked like they did.
Man on the screen there, Artist. I do want to see him having big impact throughout this game. Got the chance to on the raise. Little uncharacteristic to our recent eye.
It's a throwback.
But if he gets that fire going, Mike, he can be deadly. Ooh, are they committing behind this walk?
Loud did this so many times the other day. It's on the back of reading that NRG heavily favor an extremity, typically being towards B long. Aspas is going to look to punish that. Might actually catch crashes here, Lauren.
Timing is everything. Oh, and it's good. Backline dealt with.
And NRG have to commit behind that. They have to.
Site is clear, fortunately for them. No stress yet towards R either. You can already see them starting to toy with the idea of applying that pressure back through, though. Utility's starting to be committed and a bit of somewhat of an overcommitment towards CT, but they have to get some territory.
Sadak does have the lockdown here. It's a good invest it. Yeah, he will. It's going to shut off a lot of sight, force them into spawn. Sui's going to be feeling the pressure here.
Yeah, dealt with Artist with a double as well. Beautiful time for him to strike. Couldn't quite get away from it, though. Aspas still standing. Hold on, Loud with a tap on the spike. Oh, my word! Beautiful work towards CT, and now FNS sweating bullets. 2 players to stand up against him, and he crumbles. Loud perfection on the playback in.
NRG get 3 kills in the blink of an eye, and immediately Loud respond. I feel like that was a straight 2v4 there.
Yeah.
I mean, Les and Aspas effectively eliminated from that initial pressure that's provided by the lockdown. So the 2 here, yeah, it's 3 kills immediately. Aspas responds with the first. What a retake there from Loud. Absolute madness. And NRG, rightfully so, that's got to be a little frustrating.
Yep.
We'll call a timeout here just to gather their thoughts.
It's all songs in Sao Paulo right now. 4-1, Mike. I'm going to be honest, I backed NRG in this game. I thought this was the one where they'd be doing well. They wouldn't crumble under this. They've been aware of this opponent. That used to be a great boon for FNS and NRG and Chet. But
do you know what? I come back to something Mimi said on the desk. I didn't think we saw Loud live up to the expectation we maybe held for them.
Sure.
There's been slip-ups. It's been an uphill struggle in the first 2 series.
I mean, how good are Gen G then? That's what I'm terrified about. Gen G are probably the most nuts team we've seen so far.
We almost think about some of these drawn-out series getting a little context when we come back to a familiar matchup, right?
Yes.
And here, we're not getting that. This is so one-sided.
Yeah, it is. This is very much Loud in charge.
I mean, if this continues, then you could argue Loud are almost in championship form, right?
Yes.
To eliminate a favorite like NRG with these score lines, with the rounds playing out this way. Response immediately from NRG to address that previous kill.
We do have a little bit of a wave going around the arena. Not sure if you can see it. I'm sure the camera will be on that pretty soon.
I like this from NRG though.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying something a little different here. The flash and the follow-up. Artist could be taking point on this one. Som by the side. Tui's though going to take space. I like what he's doing here as well. Has to win the fight on the other side, which would be against FNS. But he hasn't been challenged on this angle. The plant's going to come in. But they have really very few safe post-plant positions. Tui's winning out. That's massive. Ult comes in. NRG want to address this quickly, and they do. Crashes takes him down, and the overwhelm is there. NRG holding onto the site 4 now. Finally, a player up to the good. Sadak still standing, but only for so long. And now Aspas in a 1v3 position, absolutely checked on. He should not be able to take a step out of here. He should be locked in. But can he break free? Goes for the Vandal instead. Victor up close, spots one, waits for the swing, but it's Artis on the flank. Beautiful work from Artis, heating up now.
Big positive to come out of that timeout. Immediately addressing that triple walk up middle. Aspas being rewarded for it. And Cowan, Zine, and Tui's.
One enemy remaining.
Getting much better as well in terms of this hold. Maybe a little difference here in terms of the outcome, with the lockdown being a factor previously from Sadak. And NRG will revert back towards, focusing towards B long. Bladestorm and the Seekers available for Aspas. Sorry, and Cowan Zine. But they're going to be behind this one. It's going to be a wide open site.
I said I wanted big performance from Artis. Proving already why he was such a sought-after pick. So much variety being shown here already from the young man. And Loud in this round. Obviously working with substantially less. So if you're an NRG fan, you are wanting this clean. You want it sparkling at the end of this round. You want 5 standing. Maybe give them a little bit of economy to play with going forward, not being so panicked and fragile. And already one player in, Sadak, making no secrets of this. Quick to work. Aspas tries to get that first frag, but it's actually less to get Som. Big trade for Artis. Blinded up, taken down. Cowanzine's there. 4v3 now, but surely these final 3 should dig their heels in. Seeks go down, it didn't find what they wanted. NRG holding those back lines like their life might just depend on it. Aspas desperate to try. They may just be a try at this point. Still doing damage, but falls to the knees. NRG make it to 3.
So you almost wanted that one to be as close to flawless as possible. Only 2 rifles remain. Artis 2 off that showstopper though. An opportunity to offset slightly. I think actually if Victor drops one across, it might just protect the next purchase. But even here, Loud just looks so deadly. With almost nothing to come into this. It's a Bladestorm and a Sheriff, a Frenzy here or there.
Yep.
Aspas back on that operator. So they try and get him in a position once again. Sadak actually with a judge here. So might just try and tuck into elbow and hope for the best. Position he's playing is interesting actually, because last time NRG did try and pinch calls from both sides with this Trailblazer.
But the ult come in, gonna make this a little bit more difficult. Already bounding towards the back of the side. It's not pretty, but it's the job achieved for Artis. Side control again. The point man is succeeding for NRG. FNS wants to make absolutely no mistakes in this. Going to invest the ult, but actually Tui's found Som. Pain Shell's good, forces them away slightly. Let's try to connect that spam, but not quite finding what he wanted. Swing comes in, Artis fit to go down, and suddenly there's a gateway open. Crashes and FNS are sweating, they're worried, but FNS, oh FNS! What a time to come alive! 3 big kills and the young gun Tui's. What can you do with it? That's one, needs a second, one more second to play with.
The lockdown's gonna get him!
Oh, he's gonna be locked down, and Crashes is on the way. Knife in hand, he's gonna dice him up. Oh, in front of the home crowd. The boos rattle out and NRG close the gap.
And they tie things up 4 apiece.
Beautiful.
Even there, the only thing that secures that is Crashy's lockdown.
Yeah.
Things spiraling out of control. And somehow FNS comes away with this. The blind shot there onto Aspas, and then I think Cowanzine's already 1 HP from the decay. So an insta-kill with that snake bite. Huge round from FNS.
Yeah.
And much needed, actually. We'll put Loud back in a position where they're going to struggle financially.
It was waiting, really, to have a close game, it feels like. NRG finally starting to build up into this. Artist having a good performance, Crashy's finding value, FNS starting to heat up a little bit himself and just closing down a couple of these rounds, but that did come off the back of a great deal of ults coming through as well. They're really at the start of their cycle again, whereas Louds will be hitting soon. However, Mike, you noted it, the money. They have tempered this purchase now. Loud are certainly not flush for cash.
And again, just to come back, obviously NRG closed that out. They've effectively reset in terms of the purchase for Loud, but they burnt up a lot of ultimates there. Like I said, I'm fine with the lockdown investment. It secures at a point where previously we've seen those retakes from Loud just explode and completely rip apart that post-plant setup of NRG.
Still pretty close in my mind. I mean, a second either way. Yes, the lockdown was ticking away, but bloody hell. Still a 1v2 to get past. This is 3 on the trot here for NRG. Could be, I feel, quite likely to be a 4th. But we are seeing them bolstering the numbers on this B site as the time does tick down.
That'll be huge after that map 1 as well, to come away from this first half with a lead, with some sort of comfort, something to build upon in the second. NRG focusing B once again. A slight adjustment, albeit on this thrifty round.
Ooh.
That was.
That looked on.
Yeah.
Wasn't, but NRG starting to once again flood the site. But the problem is Loud are here in numbers this time. Gonna draw first blood, but it is traded back. A little bit of the site is somewhat safe, but suddenly the reveal, Crashies has got to be worried. There's Aspas just around the corner. Isolates him well with FNS, and then they're starting to carve away at this defensive side. Split should be able to go down soon. And yeah, a win out towards CT is massive as well. Victor doing wonderfully. And yes, Les is behind them. It should be a matter of time until he's noted. Flash is good. Couldn't quite find the frag, and actually it's Crashes to turn around. So lovely, lovely work here from NRG. Really stabilizing here.
E4 alive as well. Effectively in a position to, as close to buy out for this half. That's unfortunate. I think he just picks up, tries to swap away from this scope. And what he picks up is empty.
Sleep tight.
See if NRG continue here. Whether or not this adjustment towards B site continues into the buy round for Loud. Lockdown available, Viper's Pit available, and the Reckoning for 2Es. Operator in hand for Aspas as well, but no shield behind that. And they'll revert back to actually just using this operator to anchor A main.
There is a bit of a switch up with that pressure towards middle. And because all you can really see is the same sort of presence on B long, this is quite a nice idea. This could be a nice little knife in the back, but it depends on the timing.
Les has to be, I was going to say, he's got to be careful of this pop for the showstopper.
Yeah, and Artist is away and sends it. Luckily, FNS is by his side. Less with the trade and the swing, but that's answered right back in. So middle is actually somewhat under control by NRG. I'm looking for the backfill coming out, though. I'm looking at 2Es maybe trying to pressure that. But already, Sadak in trouble, deleted by Crashies. I love this split, identifying so much pressure coming through from Link. They've just faded away from it here. Artist tucked on the site. Head of the ult, 2Es. Not going to get what he wants out of this. And Artist willing to challenge, willing to brawl out. But Aspas on the back foot now as it's a 1v2. Tap on the spike, needs to draw some fire, which it does. They haven't seen him yet, now they have. Aspas, oh my word. 9 bullets to play with. And a dream, Crashes down to 58. He has to swing, and he's got the fight, Crashies! Pulling NRG further ahead here. Finally Loud starting to fumble a little bit here on the second map.
That's only the turret to pull Aspas, or pull his crosshair placement at least away from that. I think got a couple of tags onto Crashies.
Yeah, through the wall, I think.
Starting to see just this aggressive mentality towards the game. Force Loud into some situations. Slight overpeak from Sadak there. Lockdown committed from heaven. Placement a little questionable, but he's out of position to get the most value from that. But there's the overpeak, way ahead of his 2 teammates.
And pendulum swing-wise, I do feel FNS currently does have a really nice grip on this game. Love that little additional mid-pressure. You can already see the utility put towards it as well, just to ensure that no one's going to hit that flank super easy. We do see 3 players committed towards that B side, but already further exploration from Aspas, and he has invested the ult behind this, so it's certainly not without some sort of venom to it. Now we hold. You can see the read coming out from it. Looks like NRG that there will be a further pressured flank, and Aspas with those knives could
look
be it.
How deep Aspas is already. FNS set up as a safety net for NRG. It's effectively a 4v4. Weapon advantage for NRG on site.
Seek's going to come in. Nothing close on sight. There's
What?
Aspas. How quick was that? But the site's under scrutiny. NRG is still breaking through where it matters. The backlines are no longer safe, so they need to win out somewhere. They're going straight through towards Link. Victor demolishes them, and now Aspas needs heroics and nothing short. Oh God,
Sure, what?
damn! Oh, this is down to nothing. 10 HP. He's on an island. He's got him. 16 HP now. A 1v2 though, but the spike is over by A. They adjusted quickly, and this position, surely he does not
Victor's
expect. Victor, lovely work from NRG. We've got a game on our hands now, Mike. NRG have finally woken up.
And for a moment now, seeing NRG almost take their time in getting to site. As soon as that kill comes through from Aspas, slight hesitation, but they seal the deal. A little bit of aggression here from Victor with the run and gun.
Beautiful.
Done here.
But it gets the job done. Round 12, 7-4 in favor of NRG now.
6 in a row. Loud need to break this if they want a comfortable second half.
And two players actually I was crediting earlier on ahead of this map starting who had fantastic defensive halves. Tuiz and Kawanzine not finding an awful lot of individual impact in some of these rounds. Yes, Kawanzine's been stacking up with Aspas and putting him in a position, but previously they have been putting up numbers.
Oh, just one away now from some. Should have had a bit of information off the back of the dog there. And the ult's going to clear the site. Backline's not going to be pressured. Two still playing towards middle. Timing now, wait on this a couple of seconds. Don't want to go too early. Tuiz does need to back away from this, yeah. They do at least take those couple of steps towards the site. Mid is next on the chopping block. Lovely work again from FNS, but as crashes to fall, but the site does at least now start waving that NRG banner. Some caught on the way out, but unpressured. Yes, the ult comes in. Flash to follow. And no commitment towards the side just yet. Flank is deep in the backlines from Aspas.
So he's going to get past the turret as well, so Victor has to watch this. The tap on the spike, Som. Not reacting just yet. The flash is perfect from Kawanzine.
Wanted to see something from him. That's 2 this round. Can't make much more of it in a 3v2 now. Victor and Som, what are you going to do with it? Les is standing and delivering, and the defuse in 8 stop. Victor, oh my word! He denies it, goes back in. It's just frenzies as best he can. Defuse will be there. It's 5 for Loud. Just clawing in this final round of the first half.
Absolute heroics for him to recover that round for Loud. Aspas almost lost in the lurk this time around. Finally coming through and finding something, but it's less. With this vibe.
They could really take advantage of on B.
Yeah, their anti-strategy failed completely on split, but coming in, I think they saw the same thing that I did. Sadak's anchoring of B was a weakness. They went there 9 times in a row. Oh, not in a row, sorry. 9 times over the course of the 12 rounds and absolutely brutalized what they were doing there. They messed up a couple of the post plans, like on the pistol and the follow-up, but round 8 is a great example of just what they were doing. They have a very easy time getting into the site, and then they're able to get the pit down. You can see their ability to entry here is really good. Swarm in with an ultimate. It's a bit dodgy, but overall, they get it done. And then they still almost whiff the retake, even though there's a pit down here. They were getting pushed to the limit, but I think they identified the right thing in this map to push this half in their favor.
They absolutely did. And at the beginning, Loud was pulling off a lot of those retakes. NRG really letting those slip. But the improvement towards the latter part of that half shows that I think they're really back in it with this calling. But as we look ahead towards the second half, I think the player to highlight has to be Aspas. In the first half, his impact was absolutely phenomenal. And the role he plays on the attack for Loud is pivotal. When they're going for these side execs, he's always the guy who's diving deep. When it's on A, it's taking care of the player in pit. When it's on B, he'll be taking back you. Really pivotal duels that he's taking early. And also, for the Harbor comp, the pressure that he provides allows that Cove to stay up, for that spike to get planted, and Loud to get into those post plants that they really want.
Yeah, and the only thing I disagree with there out of what you said is Aspas was having value whenever they went into him. But otherwise, he wasn't able to find those fights early on.
Sure.
Now he is in control of where the team goes, and he's always going to be set up to take the engagements. He just has to not end up pushing through the harbor walls.
Well, this crowd is riding the wave, and maybe Loud could ride a wave of their own as they seek to try and come back as they're down 7-5 in the second half. Let's send it back over to Pansy and Hypoc.
Yeah, they certainly have their work cut out though now. NRG looking different altogether. This could spark a resurgence from Loud though. But you've got to give credit for those 6 rounds on the trot. NRG were wonderful to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were talking about credits in this B-side execute that Josh was alluding to, and the adjustment just came so late for me. You see Loud trying to get active elsewhere on the map. We just didn't see enough innovation there. Loud looking to continue the trend. Oh, this will be tested here in the pistol.
Yep, and he's passed with flying colours. Sadak gone. No comfort now trying to get towards his site. Flash will catch, but a pain shell in response. And no pressure really following. It's looking like Aspas's lurk, yeah, going to be noted. And even if they try and build off this, they haven't pulled full rotations either.
Big gap between Victor and Crashies right now. Crashies trying to slip into main. Going to force Aspas to full clear sight here. Crashies going to have 3 members allowed charging towards him.
Oh, Crashies. Overwhelmed. Outgunned. How much? Oh my god, he's gotten away with it! That's so much damage already done, and big inflammation as well. Look at them. Less down to 22, Aspas 18, and it's a huge lockout for NRG. The crowd is silent as NRG pick up the first here in the second half.
Big round to kick off NRG's defensive half here. Now look as if they might throw a couple of sheriffs in. Ardis wants to get a rifle on the board as quickly as possible. Leading the charge for NRG on the scoreboard and opening this round up for them as well. I almost think there with Aspas's position, the fact that he's not digging deep onto site, that full clearance is going to come from Loud, but 2 members ahead of Les. I think actually Les is the first person to even consider clearing the box on A main there.
Well, buy back in.
Yeah, could see a fight for this here with the Stingers in hand. Crashies and Som tucked up very close.
Nice work, clean stuff, really clean work, very diligent, very heads up, not taking it lightly by any means. And that's the spike scene as well, so the rest should be very much understood and expected here.
Seeing Cowan Zine and less 1,300 and 1,400 credits. A little off kilter on that purchase. I'm not entirely sure why, to be honest with you.
Crashies, very early ult coming in here.
Yeah, round 3 lockdown, but a huge tool to potentially convert this second half bonus. And like I said, what's strange is the purchase then forcing them into round 3 here, where it's just sheriffs to play with.
Yeah, it's certainly uncomfortable. Maybe trying to find any sort of pick they can, but again, NRG, high priority to take this A space, pushing out through towards A main, 3 players towards it, leaving Art pretty open. Yes, they have utility there, so it's not going to be completely out of character. And now time to be built if anyone does need to get around there, but looking towards Stewie's, leaning back through by double door. Maybe that B site is the end goal.
We saw Loud do this a number of times on the buy rounds, just going through the motions, trying to figure out exactly where this Killjoy setup is. Someone crashes though all the way into spawn already. FNS tucks himself in behind screen. See how I focus that direction. Does it get cleared here with the Trailblazer? Actually doesn't.
Oh. Okay, it's just a frenzy, but look what it can do. Finds both players. Lesson Sadak going down. It will allow a plant to come in and a rifle recovered for Aspas. Hold on. Now that's it. That's the lockdown coming in that we were looking for.
And you almost didn't want to see that. Yes, it's fine to secure.
Aspas, he's thinking. He's actually
There's two in
considering
spawn.
this. Now Victor does get lucky. Oh! The timing on that snap from Aspas. Aggressions is on the site.
He's sticking this.
Wait, someone, anyone, someone stop him! Crashes! Right under their nose, completely unaware.
I mean, Loud do everything right on the way in. Crashes were just not a care in the world. Sticks that defuse. And even after the lockdown's gone, I'm not sure what the delay is in heaven. They just think, I mean, they bank on it being a tap to draw somebody out. Unfortunately, not in a position from long to stop that from happening. Som throws a wall up to seal the deal.
There we go. 10 now, made for NRG. Loud pumping the brakes again, second time out here. The atmosphere's certainly different now. Loud going to start feeling the pressure of the crowd going pretty quiet here. But again, we're not new to this head-to-head. They are so equally made. Mike, you were talking about it at the start, the numbers you ran through. These two are somewhat inseparable, and it would have been almost uncharacteristic to be too one-sided. I'd hated if this to have been a blowout game, potentially not even seeing the third if it went down like split. So I'm quite happy to see a bit of a fight back here from NRG.
And the fact that potentially we go to Fracture, which in terms of the head-to-head has been such a banger.
Oh, truly a tantalizing prospect. I think any Valorant fan certainly is looking for that. Whichever way you want it to go, everyone would love to see a third here. And as it stands, unless Loud make a stand now in this rifle round, Mike, I think we're going there.
Yeah, it has to start now. See, looking at the outcome of that previous round, Aspas comes into this with 3,100. Whether or not winning this round will mean, look at that operator online. I said Loud previously did like this slow creeping default to try and dig out some utility and play very, very reactive to what they find. NRG also, though, showing a little willingness for proactivity outside A main consistently, and this hasn't been really dealt with once on the side of Loud. It's basically this alarm bot anchoring Art for a three-man stack in A main.
They are falling back at the right time here.
I love the combo there, by the way, just to try and slow inside that nano swarm.
The pressure's coming through on double door. Galzine, stunning work. So much impact. Honest and FNS, the blink of an eye. Considering the next round. 5 still standing for Loud here. Difference for sure. 3 players though from NRG looking to try and get back in on CT. That spike's not on the site until just about now. Victor even finding less. It ain't out of the woods just yet. And the timing from NRG is divine. Dropping back in, finding the challenge. And now just Aspas in a 1v3. Som's low, and he's found the first. 2 more to go and a spike to be recovered. He's got a lot of work ahead of him. Victor up above. Som on the site.
Well, the smoke missed.
Oh my word, 10 seconds. He's got to find one of these two. He gets one, but one is not enough here as NRG will break through from 10. It's 11 now. Unstoppable in this half.
That's one off the Blade Storm. Actually, pretty close to everything. The Seeker's online for Loud. We have to scrape together a purchase here. A lovely play from NRG here. To just be decisive. This is after 2, effectively 3 kills in Link here. Roll your minds back. Those 3 players were in A main.
Yes.
That's how quickly they've made it across to actually prevent the plant coming through.
Oh, do we have a challenge there? I thought Sadak might have tested the waters a little, but no. Decides to back away. And look at the pace from Loud. Straight through double door. They found a weakness they want to exploit. And it's crushing FNS on the way, but there's still value to this. There's still players on the side. It's Crashies, and he has been wondrous so far. But again, playing your life could be so much more valuable, but he's not got it this time. Aspas, quick as lightning, gets up towards heaven. And this may be an early save, honestly. So little to be done here.
I think that paranoia from Split's still there. They're considering the possibility of it being a fake. Full clearance comes through. Spike finally making its way onto site. You see here, once the confirmation comes through, what the decision making for NRG is. See lots of the map to re-clear here, so it's looking like they might just hold on to these rifles. Again, we'll think about obviously the knock-on effect, feeding across a couple more orb. Slow creep, deal with some utility, figure out exactly where people were playing. The second time it's like, oh, I think we know where FNS is playing.
Just gonna swing.
That's good, let's pop.
Yep. Would they dare do it again though? Because you're thinking mind games is surely they're going to reinforce this, they're going to either bring players around. Because this has been absolutely the launch pad having a couple of close rounds this time.
And the difficulty being this kill coming through on Link basically completely mitigates Crashy's setup.
Yep.
It removes any threat from the alarm bot, the nano swarms, anything that's really looking to slow down that push coming from long instead.
Well, there's a bit of a difference. We do see a little bit of the setup put into this. Crashies deciding to bolster the hold, but this time it's not the same look. Loud doing what we saw a lot of in the first half here from NRG.
Maybe reading that, actually that previous round is going to draw them towards double doors. There should be less resistance on site here. FNS got to be careful, but he actually finds a kill here. Less will trade it out.
Okay, but they still got a good hold here, but Crashies' HP is worrying me to no end. 10 HP? How much can one man do? A little bit of spray, oh my god, it's so close! They do get the plant down. Spike's in. They've got the time on their side. Does Les stick around? Well, he can't now, really. Needs to back away with the rest, yep. Looks like the post plant will be set towards long. NRG might be forced to respect this a little bit. Finding a little pocket of safety. This will offset the timing by a couple of seconds.
2 nano swarms still. First one popped preemptively. And the cove removed straight away.
Oh
now
my,
this
it's a
wall's going
firing
to be
squad,
ticking
though.
away though.
Crashy's going to connect towards Sadak, and Tom's going to be sitting on the defuse. He's going to be taken off. Dewey's, Coward's in, holding on, but Ard is still fighting as hard as he can, but the time has evaded him. It doesn't matter, let's! Getting Loud back in the game. They've found a way back through.
Great conversion here from Loud. And the lockdown even coming fairly preemptively.
Yeah.
Anticipating that very fast retake coming through from NRG. Maybe on the back of that pressure towards Cow and Zine. Him getting tagged up to, I think, down to about 20 HP.
Yeah, super low.
Loud just want to make sure that they can secure. Still comes right down to the wire.
Well, they forced the timeout. NRG have quite a few rounds to play with still in pocket. They do lead at 7-11 if you are just tuning in. They have a couple of ults to play in as well. Artis has his, so plenty of impact there. Crashies and FNS, so some very high impact ults still on the board for them. However, their money has been slowed down, right? Their money is in kind of maybe stingers, maybe shares, maybe a frenzy or two, but we have seen that having impact. Not going to underestimate it, but Loud have found a couple of answers. So the question then becomes in this, what are the answers going back here for NRG? What do they have in store? How much adaptation can they bring out?
I do love the contrast as well. Obviously, talking about that B-site execution, NRG were leaning heavily on this rinse and repeat, almost a carbon copy, time and time again. Yeah. Loud, happy to show just a little variation every single time. It's all based around pressure and looking to punish a player out of position. The sort of things I was talking about with the difference between Sadak and FNS. So we're seeing that on display here on Pearl. NRG, let's see if they're going to try and fight for B main here as 3, previously seen similar stack towards A main. Ardis gets very deep. It does actually have the showstopper as well.
It certainly does. Does he decide to go for it? These players need to be so careful. He was blinded by this. Pulls off. That'll be the player spotted. Boombot decides to be invested and falls away here. Timing! Yeah, he's pulled out. Lovely. Trade, though, for Som.
Som is always good for a headshot with this gun. Always.
It's actually filthy, isn't it? The amount of times we've seen it. Trade-off of utility. But there's not as much commitment towards the site. I'm watching that spike back away from B for a second here. Going for the double pump. It does give some room to re-explore.
There's no utility to stop less either.
Are they holding for the position to come out from this? You're buying a little bit more time to find impact here. Yeah. Okay, Victor's seen it, so this is still very much going to be concerning because that B site will be the one to be pressured. Victor, the flash is gorgeous! Massive work. So if he could do any more damage, that'd be unbelievable. Can't get away. Caught in the heels and dragged back down to earth. Loud win that plant, but this is damage done. Victor's got a rifle. Aspas, though, leans into CT, takes out FNS. The Seeker's going to confirm where these players are as well. Now everything's noted. There's no more surprises. Crashies only have that Stinger really to play with. He doesn't get to keep it. Victor now 1v3. They are lined up. They want him dead. Might just try and make a mad run for it. This is going to be 8 for Loud. Clawing back this game, Mike. I started to think this one might have been all over, and it certainly isn't. What does Victor do now? Absolutely nothing.
Just 3 rounds separating them. See what's behind this purchase for NRG. A lot financially, but ultimates are plenty. Everything but the reckoning online here. See if NRG lean heavily on those in terms of the setup.
This is either going to be an incredibly messy round with a whole lot of ults coming in.
Total overhaul here, maybe on the back of the Viper's bit from FNS, but this defensive setup completely flipped for NRG.
They are going to be surrounding this Viper's pit. Aspas stepping closer. Does Ardis... No,
Som's got to be careful here.
he could be the gateway to opening this round up. Som's in a more trouble, and he's dead. Aspas breaks in. And now they're just divided. And Conquering Loud are getting closer. Another flash is good. Ardis on the angle. Calzine's got to be careful here, and he's decided to back away into the safety of the Viper's pit, but bounds back out, sends the ult through and finds nothing.
Sends a Rosa.
Oh,
Sadak's
Ardis.
creeping in the Viper's pit though. FNS has to be careful here, he's getting surrounded.
Yeah, he's in a whole lot of trouble. He's dead, Aspas! Huge impact, 2 big kills. The site is theirs. And the final 2 players, Victor and Crashies, I don't know if they're going to stay into this. Yes, they have the lockdown, but is this the time? Do you allow Loud to get to 9? You've been allowed back on the site. Turret takes contact. Sadak now fully aware. And time is ticking, and NRG are running out of opportunities. This one's done, it looks like. Already backing away. Crashies with... Oh, absolutely nothing. Aspas is on the hunt.
He wants this kill.
Might just be the prey. Oh, he's just spammed it in. Hope for the best. Victor will punish that. If he can stay alive, that's probably the best he's going to get out of this. Oh, they're shutting down. It's 11 HP. They're just around the corner. He's dead and gone. Loud are knocking at the door now. NRG should be worried.
Viper's pit and the showstopper thrown into this as well. Just the lockdown available for NRG.
Oh, there should be 10. They can't even really buy it.
Nope. In a really, really rough spot now. I call it there. I've credited Karanzine previously for how good his flashes are for setting up Aspas.
Yeah.
This is him and Aspas just shift walking immediately towards connector, finding Som with no utility. No awareness actually on the side of NRG. A very deep hold from Som, anticipating that pressure coming towards site. Here, 2 stingers Couple of Sheriffs, a frenzy for FNS. An awful lot for NRG to make this one work.
Not what they need on the site, but just on the other side of that
Good nade,
wall.
that's going to do a ton of damage.
50 HP. That's lovely. And the follow-up flash. So many players. Victor. Fantastic connection, though. Aspas chipped away at Artist confirms it. Not respecting the utility put down and actually taking them down to just 3 players.
Yeah, 2
Som,
upgrades.
He's got an upgrade. You're absolutely right. The Viper's pick comes in, but do they check on Som? Are they even aware of the chance he could get here?
They can spam with the decay here, sorry.
Oh my god, Tom, they have no idea still. He's just sitting this one out. The spike is to his left, and they are clueless. He will be dead here, but makes so much impact in such little time. Sadakales, what are you going to do now? You're running out of time. You've got 35 seconds. It's all gone wrong. They got the spike back, though, and 30 seconds to play with.
30 seconds
Sadak. Oh my god, he just about gets away Artist. They are just passing each other like ships in the night, and the KJ ult comes in as well. Tap on the spike and spam comes out. It's Crash. He's finding Sadak. This could be 12. Les has got an NRG. Finally break the trend that Loud was running on.
That's all the back of that one nade. It does so much damage. Brings Aspas down to solo HP. And immediately, as soon as the spike is noted, they shut the door on B site. That's heartbreaking for Loud. They've said it, 2 Stingers, 2 Sheriffs, a Frenzy. I forgot to mention the nade. That's all they needed.
Apparently so. But this one is a break in the drought of rounds for NRG. Fortunately for them, that hard work already came in earlier, getting them up to 12 here. But now the pressure's on Loud. 3rd map looming. Opportunities now beckoning for NRG to close this out. They want out of this map. They don't want Loud getting any closer. They want no momentum with them, because until this point, it's been very much Loud trying to tear this back to 4 on the trot that they had. It's huge. Sadak tested now. Caution needs to be given here. Les going to find FNS. And NRG not out of the woods just yet. Artist in a little bit of trouble. Needs to respect that.
FNS was the solo anchor as well. So Artist got to be careful.
There's so many.
Potentially be overwhelmed here. That's going to look for the pinch and we'll find it. We'll get ahead of this rotation. Actually, 2 members coming through mid.
Gotta run.
Crashes all the way towards long, and that's the adjustment on the plant here. Great awareness from Loud.
Yeah, Aspas can really capitalize off this too. Yes, they know now the pressure could be coming through on long, could be coming through from Link. Tommy back up to be invested, but the flash, again, how do you dig these players out of CT? That's the tricky part. We can see if there's any chance for a Som, Victor, and
Les
Crashies.
is repositioned here.
The spam, not gonna find as much as wanted. Lovely shot from Crashies. The time's starting to really dwindle. Lovely hold from CT. Sadak and Tui's beautiful. Crashies still trying to find it out, but again, you can't dig that player out of CT here. Tui's is gonna play to perfection the timing. Yes, Sadak tries to make something of it. A little bit of a punish on the way out, but not gonna have it. And another step closer for Loud. Double digits made. They're up to 10.
Crash is just baiting in to punish that economy even further. See how it lies for NRG here.
Why do I feel this is going to come down to something silly?
Yeah, even FNS bringing a stinger into this. There's nothing behind this. If Loud win this round, you have to feel like it goes to overtime.
Feels like that. But Loud need to once again kindle that fire that's brought them through in the last, what, 5 rounds really. One more time. And there's a stack. There's 3 players towards double door. There's a pop flash on a swing and Loud! Send them packing! Oh my word, that's perfect! And now just Crashies, still putting up a heroic performance. Oh my god, he's read it. He's absolutely read it, but he's just being melted. Oh my god, what an attempt! 7 HP is the difference. But it's 11 for Loud. And it looks like this could be OT beckoning. What can they buy here?
What a pace change from NRG to try and catch Loud off guard from that slow default we've seen them rely on time and time again. And when the pressure mounts here in round 23, NRG try and capitalize. 7 HP could be the difference maker.
One more chance for NRG in regulation. One more chance, one more go at it. Lockdown Seekers, they have it there on the other side. Similar scenes. Huey's ult there too. Oh my word, it's an A-piece. They're sitting so deep on the defending side. One kind of back of pit, one secret. It's going to come in, should clear sight quite comfortably. And this should facilitate a plant.
Yeah, potentially, actually. Sadak going to get the lockdown off this, and they've got a lot of information on the back of the Reckoning.
Absolutely, Seeker's really just going to ensure that as well. Look how deep these have gone. NRG, this has to be a full-on retake.
If they try and run the clock down here, Sadak's lockdown could be the difference maker. Actually, it's invested here. They're going to trade off.
Oh my god, this is mad, this is mayhem, this is pandemonium. NRG are on the side, they're trying to catch him in the heels. Calzin's gone down, looking for more. Less denies, that's Crashes eliminated. Now they have to respect these ults. And now play begins again. FNS finds it, Less is gone. 4 standing for NRG. And now Aspas, Sadak and Tuis, what are you going to do about this one? Som's on the spike, and now FNS finds Aspas. Tuis, he's still firing off. Oh my god, Som tries to hold it! And he's still doing what he can. Sadak! It's gonna be OT! 12 apiece! Loud, bring the game back!
Unbelievable that we've even made it this far.
How on earth, Mike, have they done that?
What a comeback for Loud to claw their way back in. And what a crazy round to see it happening. Another round by the finest of margins. Tuis, what is that first shot? What is that?
Oh, and Sadak. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that. It's like that.
Apparently so. Oh.
I mean, dare I say again, this could be decided by 7 HP.
Yes.
That was how we even got the opportunity.
And now, operator out for Aspas. We're in OT. 12 apiece. This is what it's all about here between these two.
Already seeing this adjustment, Loud the awareness of what didn't work for them in regulation. This time around, Sadak giving up sight, a little bit of a trap play towards elbow. Almost hoping to capitalize on that nano swarm to do a little bit of chip damage and maybe find a kill.
Okay, NRG going through the motions, right? This is all clean, but this time not drawing any first blood, no chip damage done.
And actually, they don't even clear through to elbow, looking to potentially reset to a very, very solid long hold.
How does Loud get back into this? This time they're now running with operator to handle, trickier to bring into this. Yes, they're clearing the back lines, but they've got to get a move on here. They have no damage achieved so far. So these first steps have to be essential to outcome. Calzin slowed down, Sadak trying to clear towards the back of the site, and does find Som. That's the first bit of damage achieved. And now he looks with the tap on the spike. Next victim, FNS! Calzin and Sadak, they're just heating up. He's pushing the wall. He's getting so close. And Tuis is not stopping. They've got to try and get past the wall. And it's going to be Loud. Surely. Oh my god. There it is!
Did he get the kill?
He could not connect. It's 13 for Loud.
Oh, this ran out of ammo. He finds a headshot with the classic, but it's not enough.
It's timeout time for NRG. Panic stations. It could not have gotten closer. Watch this one again. Watch it back. Loud taking the fight to them. And bloody hell, Artist gave it all he had, quite literally.
And you can see just how close. There's so little separating these teams here on Pearl. So many rounds.
Two of the greats to touch Valorant in whatever form, keeping that core coming into these next rosters. New names, similar faces, and a similar caliber of game. These two are incredible to watch. And now NRG staring down the barrel of a gun here. They need something, and they need it quick.
Beautiful adjustment from Loud though. Like I said, the awareness of exactly what went wrong for them. These adjustments on the fly, first round of overtime. A beautiful retake onto B side. Actually, adjustment on the side of NRG as well. They didn't overindulge. They didn't dig deep onto site. And they were so close to converting that, Lauren. It's heartbreaking round 1 of overtime.
Could be this year's most open heartbreak at this point. 13-12, the pressure mounting. Crowd is on their feet. They are waiting for this one. Flash. Well, note the players, NRG.
Drifting on this.
3, they're working behind it. This is going to be an all-out brawl on long. This could decide the game if they commit to this. So tense now. Victor gonna try and find that info. Straight out, it's mirrored. It's so identical, and it's Som. Finds Aspas first. And now Loud on red alert, but they're looking elsewhere. It's FNS to greet them over by Art this time. We paint this round a different way. They hadn't had much test really at this point before. FNS trying to hold them back here. They've actually dismantled that pressure on long. They've fallen back towards site.
Try and let this one burn a little bit. See Som tagged up early on, will get healed up from Victor. I think Sadak maybe even just spotting, yeah. A pixel out of place. No confirmation on the flash, and actually Som will drift all the way towards A site here.
Oh, this. Stay focused here.
Can Les do enough here to sell this fake?
Well,
Karamzin's found one, Victor will fall.
but do they check? Do they check on Ardis? They absolutely don't. It's 1. He's seen a second. He knows he's got a second here. But those seconds are dwindling, and he's got to make. Oh, Ardis! The myth himself is coming alive, but Sadak wants to deny it. Quell that pressure. Oh my God! You cannot turn your back on Ardis here. It's a 3v2. Les and Sadak, 12 seconds. Time is fading in front of them. 10 seconds out left. He's got another, and now a 1v2. Crashes and FNS up against the man himself, Sadak. He spots 1. It ain't enough. NRG carry on the series.
What an outrageous shot from Ardis to define this round. The number of times NRG have punished Loud from that position, it goes unchecked once again. And it's the deciding factor here in round 2.
Come
What?
on, come on. Scouse Powerhouse himself doing well. Him and Crash, he's having a series, but you have to do it again. It's 13-13. We dive back in, Mike.
At least early on, NRG setting up towards this B take. Maybe just try and send a bit of utility down here. Very rare we've seen NRG drift away from this as a fake. Only that 1 round.
Yeah.
Victor opted to call that audible into Link. Aspas with the operator though, will find one, picks up Crashes, and he sees nothing behind it.
Yep, big info here. But still site success to some extent for NRG, but it's FNS actually to claim 2s. And Ardis this time decides to get a little further ahead. Stunner of a shot coming out. Makes it away for now. The spike now in their side. Les, Kalzine and Aspas, this is a brutal retake now to pull off.
And
2 towards long, 2
Aspas
still on
still
site.
has the operator. Potential here to swap out a weapon. No, I don't think he can.
No. A little too far away, maybe towards CT if he was trying to get one, but now the time's really starting to work against him. Ardis, he is coming alive in OT. 2 kills already. FNS takes the next point of attention. The utility's coming in, and NRG demolishing Loud here. 1 more round, and we go to the next.
An opportunity to close once again for NRG. Right their wrongs from regulation. Starting to heat up. Ardis, I said it had been a while, but putting up such a performance on this race.
People question him coming in for Ye. How would he fare? We are seeing a world-class performance out of him now. The impact alone in OT is fabulous. Loud have pumped the brakes.
And this time around, even actually finding that opening engagement, NRG still recover this. Follow through on that B site execute that's worked so well for them. Curious here if we see something very different from Loud. As they're back on the attack. Backs against the wall.
The fact this even got competitive is unbelievable, isn't it? Such a deficit throughout regulation at times, closed in on and taken here. to OT. 13-14. If NRG win this, fracture. I'd love to see it. Look, I just want it for the sake of the game. Loud closeout, fair play, but still.
This has got an operator.
Oh.
He's looking to really mix things up. He's towards double doors right now.
And that was a pressure point. It was a big pressure point. Kawarzine,
He's got one!
Quick as lightning! Oh, this strikes and Kawarzine's down. NRG are dragging this game into the third. 3 more bodies to locate and put in a body bag. 2E's less than Aspas. Try and make something out of this.
NRG previously have done so well at converting these rounds with a man advantage. They drift into a much deeper hold here on A site. They're going to explore B main. That should open things up for them. Stuck behind this alarm bot now. And that's the green light. Artist going to make his way back towards A now.
Yeah,
a double flank coming through.
Crashy's just falling away at the right time still. Not overstaying his welcome, keeping cool in this. You don't want to give them opportunity. When Aspas is still standing, there's still always a chance.
And a key molly just to slow things down here, actually. To buy time for this flank.
You need one of them to find big impact here,
gosh.
Mike. Aspas, this has to be everything, and FNS sends him away. Less than 2E's for Victor. Oh, it's perfect. And we have to go the distance. Surely 2E's trying everything he can. He's got so much more work to do, and it ain't gonna happen. This game demanded it. It deserved a third, and we're going the distance. Fracture now on the horizon. I cannot wait.
What a map here on Pearl. Initially, NRG with so many chances to close this out. Loud clawing their way back in. I've got to say it again, Ardis and Crashies as well. Crashies had such an insane performance here on Pearl.
Yep.
So many rounds just on the back of those two players. And I got to say it, this felt didn't have the same bite, the same pop that we've seen previously from this Loud composition. Could be signs of the pressure starting to get to them.
Certainly could, but I feel like if it was anything other than a third map, it just wouldn't have been right for this game. Man, and it feels like so many different stories have happened throughout just this one map. So many different swings of capability, back and forth. And my, tip of the hat to Crash, he's had a great performance, but Ardis to me on a role that we haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Worked well.
But also just to credit some of the minute adjustments that NRG made. Number of times Loud on this slow creeping default. To have things like the operator coming out in overtime just to completely disrupt some of the things that worked so well for Loud. You've got to give credit to FNS in that regard.
Absolutely, between him and Chet. Really fabulous work here. And on the other side, I mean, Loud heated back into this game out of nowhere. You can see it throughout these couple of moments. We saw, what the difference of 7 HP made. One player made a shot going astray. I mean, some of these moments.
Yeah. If that would have been something that obviously Loud then capitalized on and close out, that would have been insane.
Could you believe it? Wow.
The headshot as well from Ardis with the classic. So many moments in this map, and we get another one.
And it's one of the maps that was so characteristically good for NRG back in the day, or Optic, should I say, back in the day then. But Loud always were up to the challenge, always up to the task. Mike, I just can't believe we're going the distance now.
Yeah, I don't even know how to call this one now. With how map 1 went and how close and affair map 2 is, it almost come into this, it basically becomes the best of 1.
Absolutely.
Literally, I mean, I'm so excited to see what NRG, if they have anything cooked up, to bank on this as the decider. Pulling out all the stops now is such an exciting prospect for NRG.
It is, and that prospect will be really hitting home in just a moment's time. We're going to go back to the desk, quick break, all of that jazz, but the game will be coming up in just a second, so do not go anywhere.
And we're all knotted up 1-1 in this epic battle between NRG and Loud. Definitely doing the Americas region proud. And we're going to be going to a map 3 on Fracture. Mimi, what a game. I mean, the crowd, just the calls, the shots, artists just throwing bullets into smokes and getting kills for no reason. The man's absurd. It was unreal.
I mean, it was incredible. We start out that half just thinking, all right, it's over. NRG's going to run away with this one. And then Loud comes out with these absolutely beautiful site execs pushing Aspas deep. He's had an incredible performance round after round. And despite all that, NRG still pull it back in overtime.
Yeah, it ended up going way further than I thought. But that is the first map loss dealt to Loud. And NRG had to fight for every inch of it. It was absurd, the difference. And it came down to some bonkers plays. I felt like Crashies and Artists were doing everything they possibly could to stop their team from flumping out of this tournament.
Yeah, and GB, you mentioned the call. Some of the ideas in the last few rounds of overtime from NRG to win this out were great. The post plant where Artist is satcheling up, I think it's this round right here, where he gets so aggressive and finds, I think, 3 kills in the end to win that one.
And then he pulled out the AWP in OT as well on the defense.
Ridiculous. I mean, that call too, he's just
like
walked him in.
the doorway.
What is this? Who does that?
But it's such a perfect read on what Loud was doing. It took him a while, but those last few rounds, it really felt like FNS had the perfect call to close that one out.
But think about this, the amount of effort that is being put forward by NRG to make these rounds happen, and it just feels like Loud just shoot good gun and win round maybe. Like, that, it's nuts. They're so freaking, I mean, I'm not trying to like devolve what Sadak and Fraud are doing over there, but it's like just a natural raw aim from these guys. It's disgusting, Josh.
It definitely is, and I think they've got some clutch power in these big moments. But I think also there's some big things that have been going wrong for NRG that they fixed in that last half.
True.
To me, one of the big ones was the pistol, right? Loud have won 3 out of 4 of the pistols, and this was the first one that NRG were able to take. But it goes deeper than that. It's not just the pistols. NRG forced twice as well on the previous maps. So this was the first half where NRG didn't go 0-3 or 0-4 to begin. And that was one of the biggest things that propelled them to that advantage. And then they only just managed to scrape it through anyway. So in these pivotal economy-defining rounds, Loud have the extra edge, whether it's based on tactics or whether it's, like you said, shoot gun good, big clutch factor play. Like, whatever it is, NRG are struggling in those moments to get across the line, and they just managed it there in that second half.
Yeah, and I think what you bring up, GB, with just the star power on Loud was one of the reasons they were winning so many of those pistol rounds. Across the first map in the first half here on Pearl, it was huge individual plays that were pulling those ones through.
Yeah.
And then good game plans to be able to forward that into more and more momentum. On top of that, NRG, some of those force buys weren't working out, but finally they do get that down, at least for this one half.
Well, and momentum is the key word here, because we're going to Fracture now, and sure, NRG have managed to pick up the win here, but we are going to be going into, well, territory that I don't think, if you look at that track and the scoreboard there, that NRG are going to quite like, because they're going to have to deal more than likely with the double duelist here, Sideshow.
Yeah, and I think the double duelist is part of the problem, but also we have no idea what NRG are going to be going for. Right?
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, NRG, this team, this core, used to be amazing at Fracture in the past, but that was when Victor would play Neon and they'd play crazy aggressive behind that. We don't know what comp they're going to run. Is Artist going to be playing that primary duelist role for them? We just have no idea, and it worries me because Split, their anti-strat against the double duelist, just didn't work. They fell over.
Yeah, and for me, I'm looking at the defensive side for both of these teams. For NRG, if they can do a little bit better, you saw they only got 3 rounds on the defensive side versus the double duelist on Split. If they can do better against that here, and also for the side of Loud, in their match against Gen G, their defensive side started off dismal. They almost choked that map away because Sadak, I think, really struggled to call with that composition.
Yeah, both defense sides might be a big cap here.
Yeah, potentially. And of course, you know, we're going to be waiting to jump into the action here in a moment as the players are going to get loaded up and ready to go. But this has been genuinely, like, when you think about how the players, how the coaches are just trying to like call against one another, figure things out, but then it just really comes down to those hero plays. And you've had a lot of heroes on the field there, Sideshow, whether it's Artists or Crashies. Aspas was a superstar. I mean, it's just unreal stuff.
And I think this map's going to allow different people to step up. We know who the big players are going to be, I think, from Loud. It's going to be Aspas and Sadak, the double duelists. They're going to be asked to do a lot. On the other side of things, we don't actually know who Chet's put in that star position. Is it Victor, going back to the Neon? Are they going to have Ardis run Raze on the map, maybe? Because the Raze actually looked really good. You know, Hypok was talking about the fact that we hadn't seen Ardis Raze in a long time, or does he end up pulling out the Jet? There are so many different ways that NRG could have crafted something, but I'm just worried their defense is not going to hold up because the site anchoring sucked on Split and their opping strategy sucked. They need to have taken away the correct lessons from Split.
Yeah, that they absolutely do need that. I think as well with the answer to their composition here is going to be really interesting to look at for Loud as well. They're going to be going in somewhat blind. So have they pulled out something new? Are they going to try and change their style? Or do they just stick to what was solid in their first time showing Fracture?
Well, let's see what we end up getting here with our Prime Gaming agent select. Fracture, the battleground, 1-to-1 in the count. You can see the hovers, and already we're getting a little bit of a change up here on NRG side here, Mimi.
I mean, those hovers are from history. That's what these players used to have. It was like 2 neons. It was Artis on Chamber. So these agents, a pretty big switch up. They go with the Cypher, which I think is a good choice against this Jet of Aspas. Forces you to play a little bit slower on that attacking side, give it a little bit more respect. And we do get Artis on the Jet. I think his star power will be crucial.
Yeah, Ardis trying to hold on, but even more so than that, like, how is FNS going to be able to stop the double duelist from coming in? It's one thing when it's a Neon and the Neon might run into a trap wire. It's different when it's 2.
All right, well, this is it. And obviously, it couldn't end any other way. NRG, Loud, Map 3. Let's find out which team moves on to the semifinals, and we're going to send it right back over to Pansy and Hypok. Have fun.
I think it's impossible not to have fun at this point, if I'm honest. This game has been a treat so far, but let's talk about these compositions, talk about your expectations here, because there are some adjustments from the classic quote-unquote optic on this map.
There are, but I have one major concern, which is we were talking about the double duelist comps from Loud looking a little underwhelming. The fact is, in map 1, we saw a total tempo shift to completely throw off that prep factor. NRG had the opportunity to look at that. They thought as if they would have the upper hand against a one-dimensional comp, but Loud literally doubled down. They went over and above to make it work, and that's my concern here on Fracture. Bringing the Cypher in, the questions around obviously countering, the ability to counter Aspas at least, but it's the double duelist. It's 2 up front here in the comp.
Only one of these two can carry on forward. Brazil's hope placed with Loud and NRG getting overrun. Instantly, Galzine and Aspas break down Som and Ardis and draw first blood.
Actually, the pinch is perfect as well. The fault line, so precise. A double flank coming through from Bridge, but Tui's on hand for the first and the second. It's a Prime Gaming flawless to kick things off here on Fracture.
Ferocious start from Loud, coming out swinging, cracking down on NRG. And I want to see if this pace can continue.
This is exactly the sort of thing I'm talking about, just absolute commitment to this composition working for them.
Yeah.
And NRG, even here, you can see they're set up potentially for a set piece to open things up, but Loud are so ahead of the curve.
We're learning as we go, and the purchase is hefty. Coming out from Loud here, 2 rifles on the board so far. Less and it's Aspas, yeah, with theirs, and it's just classics on 1 sheriff for Ardis. And that's all they've got. Proactive work to clear. But again, what do you do with it when you find out all that information? You still only really have classics here, trying to maybe get a read on the overall game, see what they can extrapolate early on.
Loud was so good at this, by the way, finding the space on A main and feeling no resistance there, and that mid-round in place to immediately punish it, but NRG are here, they have numbers.
They don't really have the weaponry to do it, but the flash is really solid. Less than Aspas still mowing them down. Hold on, there's a little bit of a fight back. But it is now just Ardis. Galzine is low, Sadak chipped away at, but Les still sitting pretty. Spike going to be planted. Time is on their side.
They'll be able to retain that Phantom as well. So actually a Bulldog to round out the 3rd weapon saved across. Actually in a position for Aspas to get a rifle back on the board as well. So I'm curious here, NRG, do they get proactive? Just coming back to reference that Gen G game, they were tested. Loud stretched to the absolute limits. And some of these slow burn rounds look better on this composition. The mid-rounding was so good from Sadak. I'm so curious to the pace we'll see here from NRG, particularly on the defense.
Nothing too out of sorts thus far.
Should
FNS.
catch both, actually.
Yeah, that actually probably will. They're in a whole lot of trouble. Yeah, they are in dire straits. FNS, actually, it's Victor on the swing that found the perfect timing to try and back him up just as FNS fell. He did manage to get the punish, but Les swings up towards tower. This plant does go in and safe to back away. 3v3 post plant now. Tui's though, gonna catch Crashies. How the hell did Tui see him then?
Seeing something we don't, that's for sure. Artist now, a 1v3 once again. Can he get anything done here? Gotta consider just holding on to this rifle. But he wants another stab. We'll spot out Cow and Zine. That should force Loud a little deeper here. The fault line will catch.
Oh, sharp still. But I think he knows his days are numbered if he sticks around. Yeah, time to try and peel away from this. Stuck around long enough to take one with him, but still. This pace from Loud is good, and you got to say, for me, once again, Tui's, what an outstanding addition. Oh, this lovely stuff still. Keeping hold of the rifle, taking him away. You can at least keep Loud's economy slightly humbled, not swelling as much, but still fine on the repurchase.
Yeah, we'll force the repurchase, but still as good as a purchase behind this for Loud as well. And it's reminiscent, at least here in the first 3 rounds, of what we saw on Split. That commitment to overwhelm. Right, Tui's just got 2 blind. Yeah, just 2 blind headshots through the smoke. And when players are hitting shots like that.
What are you meant to do?
Exactly. Sting is here to round out, actually, to complement this rifle in the hands of Ardis.
Oh, he's trying it, Ardis. A valid attempt, just trying to be some sort of saboteur to this FNS. Deleted as Aspas strikes in the sight. Taking over tower, no more resistance. It's just the Stingers left here. The plant's in, Loud. Lovely on approach.
Will find another isolated here. Crashes will close that out. It is a 2v2 now. The Nano Swarm will find one, and actually a little fumble there, but Cow and Zine will clean it up. Beautiful adjustment as well. Ardis takes contact, and the awareness from Cow and Zine to adjust that fault line to catch default. Also, actually, to catch tower as well, at least the stairs out of tower.
Yeah. Damn.
Loud's ultimate's just about coming online now. 3 out of 5 available, missing the Rolling Thunder and the Showstopper. NRG do have an Orbital Strike and a Blade Storm to work with. Aspas to invest his. Saving through here, potential to get the Operator online in the next.
Ooh. The aggression on the test here. But Aspas exploding towards sight. No Som on the way through, but by now the spike's actually being safely ferried through. Cow and Zine going to get a plant, very unorthodox thus far. Sadak might get the next layer of contact just around the corner. Great timing and completely unaware. NRG seems so out of it.
You hear this drop as well. Crashies isolated, but still finds one.
It's still a 2v3, it's possible.
Crashies has the Rolling Thunder. They're both coming from the same side.
Oh, but Ardis really heads up played, still just have that diligence in case Aspas was lingering. Tui's, do they catch him? Yes, they do. But how do they clear that? Or do they even have the time for this? Can they just start that defuse?
They could stick it. They
and
could
now
absolutely stick this.
To defend this, Les needs to get involved. He has to try and do something. The stick on the defuse. They've answered back with a second to spare. First on the board for NRG.
You think there the Rolling Thunder was almost going to miss that player in main, but luckily finding that kill ahead of it. And NRG on the board. Big investment from Loud, actually. See a couple of seconds difference here with the lockdown. It's a great awareness, though. As soon as they find this kill onto 2Es, they know they have the time to full stick that, unless actually tagged up very low. Put in a rough spot. And the aggression continues for NRG. Go through the space, but Victor Find the information on the back of it, the smoke, to prevent any quick progress here on the side of Loud. But again, able to navigate their way through the absence on A main.
Oh, less.
It's always less than Sadak, constantly pressuring here.
And look at the attention they've drawn. Craving a response, NRG responding kind, but now Victor not going to be able to, desperate to slow this down, and does really well to buy this amount of time.
The smoke almost going to seal the deal here. Loud should have access to sight, but they're hesitant.
Oh my god, Artis, turn around. Yeah, he's going to catch less and send him to the Shadow Realm. Sadak going to burst on the site though. Loud should be able to get a plan out of this, but Artis on the way. The surround's going to come in. Sadak swings through, takes the fight towards CT as Tui's to succeed against Som. And now the push through again. Sadak going to double down on this aggression. Loud fighting for territory and winning it. And now FNS and Artis, what do you do? Up and above Artis! Decapitates, goes in, takes down Sadak, and now Tui's has to sit and watch as NRG fight their way back in.
Loud make the right decisions here. You can see the awareness of potentially Artis making his way all the way into Arcade already. The aggression comes through with the Rolling Thunder. Artis with two fantastic shots. Keeps Loud in check. Just 2 rounds separating them. The timing there almost. If Les, I think Les actually goes quick on the rope initially. About halfway, and I think that's why. Artis still catches him. Just a second or two either way. We were talking about slim margins on that previous map. Continues here on Fracture. Loud will call a timeout. Like I said, a little bit hesitant for me there. Outside B main, usually so good at reading the setups and playing this reactive play style. This time around, a little offbeat.
You can see the check-in here from the coach. 20 more seconds to have a conversation about what the approach may be. Chet on the other side. Now again, yes, Loud do have lead, currently at 4-2. But at this point, NRG starting to work it out, starting to hit that form, and we asked for a superstar performance out of Artis. Thus far, 10-3. Very good. More than up to par. But now we see what the adjustment is for Loud. Not letting this game get too far away, but the economy they will have to somewhat respect. You can see what the purchase looks like. I see a Stinger and Bulldog. Spectres, excuse me, not even a Spectre, just Sheriffs. There it is. Spectre for Aspas in the end. But the full purchase sitting pretty with NRG. Not really got too much behind. They haven't got that swell of wealth just yet with the 2 on the trot, but they will be soon if they keep this sort of performance up.
First time really FNS is going to be tested off the rip here, because there's a couple more bodies, but Artis has found the space once again. NRG continuing to try and pressure this north side of the map.
They've had free access here towards Sand, though. I've seen it tested a couple of times. Crash is good for it, going to deny Sadak. Bulldog's still in play, though, with Tui's. And 4 players very quickly here. Yes, Les is looking for that punish, but the commitment still looking like it's towards Sand, but not finding the success they really want. Smoke's going to come in. And NRG looking to confirm this. Maybe a little flash through, but it's going to be difficult. Yeah, there it is. Turned wonderfully. Crash is still good for 1. And yeah, it's just not threatening enough. 4 standing for NRG, and again, gap closed, but that wasn't that full purchase here for Loud.
It's the point where we do get a little concerned with Loud's emphasis towards Tree and A main. That gap being exploited once again by NRG. See what the response is, whether or not the awareness is there from Loud. So they're basically hitting sight there where there's 4 people and minimal resistance elsewhere on the map. I'm already seeing 4 members of Loud heading across that direction now. NRG slip back into a much deeper hold here.
Yeah, the tempo change from NRG is curious as well, seeing this stark contrast. And it looks like they want to get a little bit further aggressive towards Som, towards Drop, but it's actually Victor who remains unscathed by this utility early. I'm unsure no progress is made beyond this point, but they will lose control of Dish. So little by little, Loud trying to take over a little bit of this map. after being kind of dictated to by NRG early on.
I think NRG with the correct read, though. This is just a probe from Loud. Retrieve the orb. Still, 3 members digging their heels in towards B site. I think actually,
Ooh, double pump towards
yeah,
A.
this is almost perfect. Aspas should be able to dash onto site and create a lot of pressure. Perfect timing on the molly to slow things down, though.
Really reading this well. 45 seconds here. Picked up, falls away, sits a little deeper. Yeah, gonna respect this. They didn't have that third man to the side, didn't manage to cheat him over earlier on, so.
It's only the Rolling Thunder for the retake here for NRG.
Yep.
If Loud can get a free plant and reset off it,
Yeah, they have.
it might be completely mitigated.
Yeah, and again, no pressure on the back line either towards A main. This is gonna be difficult.
Yeah, they
Obviously
send it
Crash-
to site. It's
Yeah.
not going to catch anything.
No, absolutely ineffective this time. Aspas still waiting patiently as well, over by drop. Denies so many chance to get into this retake. As FNS the one to see it though. Spots out one, does not see the second, already slipping through by Sand, but still up for the fight. Ardis being the tip of the spear, the diffuse does begin. He's going to be putting his body on the line, he's going to be holding it down. Oh, lovely from Tui's though. And now just crashes, and he's seen Loud. Finding adjustment really well towards the A side.
Tui's such a safe pair of hands in A main there. You see how calm and collected he is to reset for the second. You almost think there, with 2 players being forced so deep in A main, NRG have the upper hand here.
Yeah.
FNS holding down the fort. This reset here,
Got Tui's, wow.
so clean with it.
This guy, see why he's on Loud. You can see why he was one of the high priority players to get into this roster. He looks marvelous. 10-6 for him, leading the board for Loud here.
Operator in the hands of Ardis here, so could be grounds for a little switch up here. Still proactive to clear through the north side. FNS going to be left on an island here. Adjustment of the trips as well. He's looking to try and shut down Aspas on this dash.
Let's see if it even comes into question. Already Ardis back on the case, but the timing just slips away. As Loud creep towards the site, and they're further ahead than expected. He could have a terrible surprise, but he's so aware. But Aspas is so quick. Denies Ardis any play this round.
But again, look at the setup in A main.
Yeah. But,
Les and Sadak again take the space.
but I'm looking towards Dish. They're quick to this time, quicker, should I say. Still able to put in a potential fight here. Obviously, Loud don't know how clear this site is. That window of chance is slowly but surely closing. But the site is now somewhat under Loud control. Yes, NRG have to peel away from that.
Flank coming in nice and early though. See crashes. Have his hands full. But Tui's needs to survive. He has the orbital strike here. So he's that late round piece here in the post plan. I think actually
save
NRG
him.
considering just holding on to this operator.
Yep.
With Som bringing a stinger in, he will get the upgrade. They will ride this one out.
Yeah, that fragile economy would be brought in. Would be a problem. Loud navigating this incredibly well though.
Do NRG switch up where they get aggressive here? I mean, A main always feels a little awkward to push through,
Yeah.
especially without a raise in this composition as well. On the side of NRG. They need to prevent Les and Sadak from finding this space time and time again.
Yeah, this work from Loud is wonderful. Succeeding over by B,
I
while
mean,
also
it's-
taking that space on
It's
A.
a banger
marvelous.
of a shot from Aspas. It's like, you can't even
Of
fault
course.
Ardis there. The timing, pretty painful to watch, honestly,
Yeah,
with when he
just-
drifts back towards Arcade. Could have been a completely different story.
Yeah, the difference in that round being essentially 1 kill. That's it. 3-6 though. NRG decide to take a moment here. Holding for a second. And maybe wondering, where do they get aggressive? Where do they take that next approach? Do they continue to try and clear towards Arcade through Dish? Or switch it up? Dare they challenge that A-hall approach, that A main positioning? That's the consideration. Still have that operator, was recovered in the hands of FNS, able to take it through to this round. Pop it back over towards Ardis, but the options then become Loud's kind of choice, I guess you could
Yeah.
say. They can then decide where do they want to adjust to just for the fun of it.
And it's tough as well to see the operator in the hands of Ardis. What's worked well for NRG is being proactive, right? They clear this space. They then reset. Ardis is left to drift all the way around the north side. They're able to get ahead of Loud.
Yeah.
I think a key indication in that previous round is seeing FNS's utility. As soon as that cage goes up, they find the kill on Ardis, they see the cage go up, immediately Les and Sadak able to capitalize on that elsewhere.
Let's see what this timeout's done. He's still with that ult in pocket. Only one that's currently in play. Aspas not far from his, one off. FNS has his, but again, you're looking at impact. And this is the man who could have it. Ardis and FNS now exploring deeper options. That's the first blood they needed. A double dip though, maybe overdoing it. Aspas even this out, but Victor on the other side of the map. He wants a bit of the action too. And now Loud at the man deficit again.
This is exactly the type of adjustment I wanted to see. Aggression through B main here, and as soon as Loud feel that, they look to capitalize in A main. NRG this time around with 3 members to shut that down.
FNS is going to be told he has to be ready. They've already cleared through A main. They know that it is coming towards this B side, and FNS is the only one here. Does he just hold tower? Does he play patience? Might be the name of the game. But they've got freedom. Aspas starting to wander.
The double flank though from NRG coming through tree.
But that's going to be a loss of life to Crashies. CT now open.
Les found one!
How did Les connect that? Cow and Zine still on the side. They know where the final player is. Cow and Zine up against Victor. 2 with the utility still to play, but it's just the guns in hand. Victor, second bite of the cherry. He's been tagged up now. It's the trade out. 11 HP on Cow and Zine. The flash, it's found him. Victor trying to play around this, readjust to the side. Oh, he's got him. Victor is the victor in this one. NRG up to 4 now. And this mind game, this chess game is back and forth.
That shot from Les, he was dead to rights. Victor will retrieve the operator. But straight away, seeing the perfect adjustment from NRG. A beautiful setup to almost bait Loud into what's worked for them previously.
Wow. Wow. What a game. Wow,
Curious now, I mean, it's looking as if Loud's answer to that is, right, we've drawn NRG into exploring towards tree and towards A main. Can we find anything from Arcade? Or towards Dish, potentially. Might fault line off this boom, but once again.
They're both here. Oh, they're so stunned up. Crashies and Som in perfect unison. Right place, right time, and Loud left in tatters. Oh, Les again. This guy's firing on all cylinders. But this is surely too far. FNS just trying to play his life. He's buying time. And the spike is left a million miles away. Oh, and the adjustment, FNS. Ambitious with the judge. 3 more to go. And they are low HP.
Yeah, Som and Crashy's very low HP. Victor making his way back through tree, but have to show restraint here.
50 seconds to work with too. It is time to make something of this.
Trying to hide that operator as best he can.
Full utility kit to work with if he has the opportunity, but the double stack now down towards the underpass is a problem. And the next step could be fatal. Nothing on the first, and there's the second. NRG waiting. And the gap closing now. Loud not finding as many responses as they'd like here. And it will be tied up potentially at the half if NRG are able to convert this. Looking at the purchase as well for Loud, it will be lacking pieces.
It really will. One of them being a weapon, a Guardian in the hands of 2Es. But 4 ultimates to work with. And this is potentially cause for concern, considering it was an 8-4 half for Loud versus Gen G. And they struggled in the second.
Yeah, what a reminder. So many ults to invest this time, though. But Ardis is on the case. Oh, and he's walking on water. He's walking all over him. 2 huge kills. Surely he's dead to rights. And actually, they got Som as well. Maybe it's not over just yet. What can Victor do? He actually avoids him. But Sadak denies. The ult's in place. It's a 3v2. After all that damage from Ardis at the start, it's all for nothing.
FNS will be identified on this flak. So, both Crashies and FNS position known. Utility on the spike. The time ticking away.
Defuse the spike.
Haven't got time for this slow approach right now.
It's so hard to clear this with utility on the site. What are you meant to do here? They've just got to run through the motions. Loud, if they keep their composure, they should take the lead into the half. Crashies sees the first potential target, but again, time is against them here. Working it down perfectly. FNS is just going to try and sit this one as best he can, and it's actually off. Hold on, there was a chance and it slipped away. Loud at 7-5 will be leading on this.
Give themselves a little buffer here for the second half, but the response is there from NRG. Ardis and Crashies once again putting up numbers for this team.
Yeah. As close as it could be here, 5-7. Loud do have the lead, but they struggled in this half in the past. We're gonna have to wait to see what happens now. Let's hand it back to the desk to talk about that first half we've seen.
What an incredible game of tug of war that we're seeing here between NRG and Loud. And you know, to immediately jump into this one, it's very clear the impact that's being felt here by the duelists for both teams has been very profound.
Yeah, it feels like this half has been a story of how these two sides have been utilizing their jet players. For Loud, it started quite strong for them with those fast executes in the first few rounds and utilizing Auspes to be able to get deep, find great value. But what I was really impressed with was what Ardis was able to get done on NRG. Multiple rounds, he's pushing north side, taking that space and setting himself up to have a lot of value into the retakes. Or it's kind of helping out, being able to push down the ramp towards the B side of the map, getting that opening kill with the operator. Ardis had a fantastic half.
And this is the pistol round, though, and while they go for the north side crunch, which I agree is a good anti-strat against the way that Loud play, they were not ready for this pace at all. It was round one, they hadn't got a feel for the tempo, and when you look at how this first half played out, NRG were actually winning more of the rifle rounds, but they are starting every half 0-3 or 0-4 down. I mean, Loud have won 4 out of 5 of the pistols. If NRG tried to force, NRG have lost 2 force buys, and if they let Loud get a bonus off, Loud have won 2 bonus rounds. They're going into round 13 here, and they cannot afford to lose another pistol. Otherwise, they are just going to lose the game like that, just based on the pistol rounds. Nothing else. They can hold their own elsewhere, but they're going to lose off pistol rounds.
Yeah, they absolutely
to lose another pistol. Otherwise, they are just going to lose the game like that, just based on the pistol rounds. Nothing else. They can hold their own elsewhere, but they're going to lose off pistol rounds.
Yeah, they absolutely need to get those pistol rounds under wrap as well, because traditionally Loud has been pretty rough on this side of the map. They really struggled versus Gen G to get a read on how to play the defensive side with this double duelist composition, and I think NRG have likely come into this with a game plan of how to counter that one on out. But if you start slow, if you give Loud the momentum, they can still absolutely come out and win this one.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? You simply cannot afford to give this up if you're NRG, and if you're Loud, you're feeling pretty good about your chances here. You got the lead. Can you close it out, though? That is the question. Buckle up, folks. It's going to be a wild ride. Let's send it back over to Pansy and Hypoc.
In here.
What do you guys think?
So intrigued to see Loud
Wanna play some Valo?
defense here, 'cause like I said, they struggle with Gen
Been watching a
G.
lot. It's making me want to
slippery
play.
in some of those rounds, really mixing things up and almost playing, defying logic in some rounds.
Subtlety about it toward Arcade. He's getting temptation, but it's actually just Ardis getting demolished. And they're just running. They're making a mad run for it, a mad dash over towards A. The other two holding towards spawn, seeing nothing, so they have to start being proactive. Sadak showing a little bit of patience here.
Kawanzin, though, ready to play off this contact. Kawanzin, I don't think he actually has the fault line yet, so Sadak has to back away from this.
Sadak
just misses the nade. That could have been devastating.
Yeah, Crash is already down to 58. That would have been potentially huge. They get onto the site. The unhand. The time is actually good enough to catch one. It's a bit salty so far, a bit messy. Fall through by Tan. Kawanzin with a trade towards FNS. And that's Bass taking it in the way of Loud. Soft stands, cannot deliver. It's Kawanzin. Takes down Som. And Loud get the gateway forward now.
And Sideshow just alluded to this. This is massive for Loud to establish a lead here. Can they do it again? Can they convert this into a bonus? Which would be huge for them. Do NRG force back into this? I'm seeing a Bulldog off the rip here. I'm seeing light armors. I'm seeing SMGs.
Oh, Christ. Oh my God.
This could spiral out of control.
It could.
For NRG.
So precarious. Okay, Stingers, Spectres, that Bulldog got traded out on. Jesus.
A lot rides on this.
pressure moments now. Loud could start tearing away this game. Sadak does get checked on here. Gets caught up too by that as well, but no one to close the gap yet. Kawanzin by his side. Artis and Victor towards that right side of the angle, though, already making progress. They might need to respect this.
I was going to say, now that they've seen there's a force behind this, Loud will back away.
Oof.
Big headshot, but Artis can't close that out just yet.
No, but it's quite equal footing here. Artis does find Kawanzin. Crashes! Takes away Sadak from the equation. Sights under wraps now, flying that NRG banner. The other two players who are over here have to respect this now, sit towards that sand side. Spike planted. Artis is low HP, but again, you've got so many other bodies to get through to get to him.
There's no pressure coming towards main either here. Crashes might get isolated with the molly. Forced into a corner, but it's not. Yeah, it will catch him.
Oh my god.
Tui's has got it.
Hold on. It ain't over yet. The three players from Loud trying to work out the 5 that was against them. Now just 4. 3-step towards the side. Victor spots 2. Com's going to be made. They've got to be able to support him on this. Where's the rest of the team? One by one. NRG are falling. Tui's tearing him limb from limb. But now just down to FNS and Artis. And he was already low. It's only FNS.
No way.
And Loud do the unthinkable. There's a 3v5. But the individuals from NRG just get torn asunder.
No way Loud have just got away with that. The molly comes so late from Som as well. But 2 pivotal kills put FNS into such an awkward position. He has to come back to main. A gut-wrenching round to lose for NRG. And a big boom for Loud.
For me, Tui's has been man of the match. Love what he's been bringing, the impact alone in some of these rounds. The ones that matter, ever present. And now pressure on NRG, starting to mount, but, well, Artis certainly up to the test. Anyone else willing to try and succeed in Kawanzin? No.
Oh my god.
He's got so much of a chance. Artis traded that, though. But they won out by Dish. So Aspas is still in this one. Oh, he's waiting. Anyone dare go for it? No. But he reads his fake so early on. This should be called out to less.
This has got a judge.
A demolishing hold. Demoralizing. Ultradis somehow did wonders with that Sheriff. How do you get past less? He's just going to buy time. He's just going to be a nuisance as long as he can just buy a couple more seconds. Smokes. Really good. Gives him space to work. Oh, and only Artis can try. And try as he might, he doesn't get past Tui's. It's double digits for Loud.
Look at that same position again. Potential to convert this. NRG will call the timeout. And they've had a fair shot of these first few rounds as well. Loud potentially getting caught off guard in some of these scenarios.
And you can feel that pressure starting to rise. The atmosphere thick with excitement here. The crowd knows this could break the back of NRG. Buy is here for them. Ult for Artis. 2 away for Victor. On the other side, lockdown for less. But again, NRG need answers.
That's a huge ultimate to have as well. Coming into this round that potentially could break the economy once again for NRG. That would give Loud 11 rounds and NRG a broken purchase. Potentially back on those stingers again.
Making the cameraman work for it. Jibcam's never worked so hard in his life. All right, 5 to 10. We focus back in and we look at the buy. See Aspas, I see an operator, I see rifles beside it. For me, this could be one to truly start hammering those nails in the coffin of NRG. It's got to start now. That's what the timeout was for. And Aspas in early danger. Will be warded away, down to 53, still able to make that operator work, but has to respect the early investment and falls away from Dish.
Not rewarded initially, down to 53 HP as well. We'll back away from this. Actually, commitment from NRG behind him.
A little bit of a spam from Kawanzin, but Not enough of a connection to really write home about anyway.
Eyes on less. Can he make it to dish here? There's one member in the form of Crashies holding this down to prevent this retake ultimate.
There's the pop of 1-0. As much as the pressure is here, you're right. The big swing factor will be by dish, and timing is everything.
Les
And
has got a
Crashies.
judge.
Oh my word, Les. Surely he can't close this gap. She should now be on red alert. Nice. There it is. Main threat now eliminated. They have to deal with the rest that's coming towards the site. Yes, Sadak is close. But you've got to feel everything is now favorable towards NRG. And waiting in the back lines is Som. In case he has to pull that trigger, going to invest it now. Time now on their side, and Loud want to keep these weapons. Rifle, the Vandal going to be kept with 2Es. The Operator with Aspas. And 3 walking away with their lives in a round for NRG.
Big one. For 3 to survive as well. There's some footing in terms of the purchase here. Blade Storm and Rolling Thunder available for NRG.
Massive.
2 big ultimates. Loud encroaching on that orbital strike. Their own Rolling Thunder.
That one kill, truly essential to outcome, could have potentially changed how this looked. Judge not quite enough, but less right back into it. Still able to get a buy here. 2 judges, 2 Vandals and that Operator. And already proactive beginnings, Mike.
Doubling down, 2 judges now in the arsenal for Loud. Sadak playing very close up here with NRG happy to show presence very early on outside A main. A deep smoke. Cow and Zine here in support. Should have that fault line coming back online shortly. NRG though slipping towards the Operator of Aspas.
Precarious, dangerous. Waiting coiled like a viper. Oh my god, waiting to strike! Takes out Artist, takes up the head of the beast. And now NRG working with far less than before. The rest of Loud slip away slightly, not too far, still wanting to hold that A main control.
Victor found space on dish though. That should give Crashies an opportunity to get across the site. 2Es. Does he spot this out though?
I don't think he's seen Victor. FNS did find Sadak, so still winning the fight over by main. The pressure, whether or not they expect it, is going to be coming through by Sand. Does 2Es expect this? Yes, Kaozin turns well enough to get the trade release. Kaozin now locked in between.
Big
a
ultimate.
hard place. No!
They found the kill!
A quiet performance from Som, but when he needed it, he finds it. FNS already tenderized earlier on, down so low. Good trade for Som. And the 1v2, Aspas needs a rifle, gets it. But the ults are there. Som and Crashies both have round-saving ultimates if called upon. Som trying to play safety. Aspas gives away position, trying to check as he goes. And the players will hold. A good crossfire here draws the attention on one side. Crashies digging deep now for NRG. They are not out of this game yet.
It's only really the judges that ultimately are the demise of this A main hold.
God almighty, how?
And that's going to be so frustrating. A crucial kill to flip this back in NRG's favor. Sheriff's into this one.
Yep, could be 8. Very much could be 8. See if anyone gets any opportunities, any slipperiness to be had. But now that early attempt at aggression gets warded away.
NRG actually very quickly in a position where they have a little bit of a cushion in terms of the finances here. Very loose hold here on B. But Aspas, a ton of information outside tree. Sadak and Cow and Zine, likewise outside A main.
Oh, what a shot. Artist instantly nullified in that turret posing a threatening position for a moment there. Not going to get a second attempt at this though. Som going to take down Aspas. The site started looking far more secure. Nothing denying the plant. Looks like it's all through main. The threats. No, FNS not going to fall for that. And none of these looking too threatening just yet. Yes, that initial shot towards Artist was a problem, but he's now able to kind of stabilize Sit back a little deeper. Should allow the cross to sight. Hand as well. NRG up to task. 2Es. Still good damage. Needs a whole lot more to make this round actually a potential.
Some already set up with a molly as well, yeah. Still on the picture-in-picture coming through. Should allow NRG to hold on to pretty much all of these rifles.
An attempt.
Tried to body block it.
Bloody hell. Making a go of it for sure, but you all can hear the time. It is just dwindling. Yes, they're doing some damage on the way out here, but it won't be enough to change the course of this round. NRG pulling this game back in now.
I feel like this is almost the pivotal round here. NRG not burning up a lot of ultimates. They're close to that snowball round, which could come.
I think Loud agree with you. This is quite a
Yeah,
pivotal round.
this is a huge round for both sides. It won't reset the economy of NRG. But if there's investment behind this and Loud win out, it's going to reset a lot of this progress that NRG have built up already. Already see the operator in hand for Aspas. Showstopper available for Sadak as well. And the lockdown. Orbital strike behind that. For NRG, the only thing they're missing is Victor's null command.
Yeah. Tense now. Starting to feel it. Starting to feel that end of game pressure coming in. As you said, big swing round here. Certainly could be the gates fully open for NRG to kind of close round by round at that point. Money keeps getting brought back down for Loud. Ults get cycled through. Have to see how they work those investments here. Some fair amount to play with. On the other side, have to give credit to my eye. Ardis, marvelous. Needs to keep it up.
Huge day for him.
Yeah, really showing why he was such a prized possession during this. Fitting in well, it looks like. And what a test for him coming into this roster, facing off against one of their biggest opponents. Not an easy task. 4 seconds we're going back underway.
Let's not forget, actually, that first run of 3 rounds didn't really equate to much because it's level pegging now in the second half.
How much do they put to this? Oh my god. Oh, the flash is gorgeous from Victor. Opens up the A side, but will they expect the one player still here? Aspas, no, he's got one. How long can he stand here and try and take the fight? He takes one with him. He's doing everything he can. It is a 3v2 though, in less than 2. He's still have so much work to achieve. The ult is ready though. Buying seconds here. The lockdown considered, I think. Rolling Thunder gonna come back in, just buying a couple of precious seconds, and the plant now attempted. There's the lockdown. Plant will not be denied by this, but that will deny the ult.
Again, a trade-off of ultimates here, and it almost locks Loud out of this site. 2Es and less. Still want to make a go of this.
They need a spark. They need something to ignite this round. 2 players on site, 1 above Som. Waiting on the swing here. There's going to be the investment of utility. It's done well too. He's still going to get 1. Oh, I thought he was going to snap to it. Not to be. And here comes the spiral rounds. Loud now needs to be worried.
I was talking about investment. This one actually swings the pendulum back. Loud will be kicking themselves with that exchange of ultimates. This opening exchange was so close to going either way. The flash on the back of the boombot coming into the smoke and spotting Victor. And he's rewarded with 2 kills. But it's that investment of the lockdown when the orbital strike is there. 2Es throwing the orbital strike out. FNS baiting out perfectly with the tap of the spike. And that's effectively the wind in the sails of NRG.
They need someone to have an over-delivery in a round. They need an Aspas round, they need a Sadak round, they need something to change the outcome here. Because so far, the ball's starting to really roll for NRG. Less though. Gonna take a wind out of their sails a little bit. Let's get away with just a tag into the loving arms of Ardis. Good trade for Sadak, it ain't over just yet.
Showstopper available.
And you're right, but FNS gonna take down Kaunzin. Good, keeping even numbers. Aspas takes it right.
Oh my god!
Aspas doubles down! Doing wonders, we said we need heroics, and maybe he's the hero they need! Loud! Out of nowhere!
How have they done that? What a ridiculous round when everything looked so good for NRG on the way in. Out of nowhere, Loud pluck a Thrifty, force a full repurchase, and all those positives, Lauren,
Yeah.
that I was just talking about, the wind in the sails, the economy built up.
Keep farming these kids.
Artis actually has to reconsider the operator because there's almost nothing behind this.
Knife's edge now. We wanted the spark, we found the spark to ignite. Loud again. It was 4 in a row for NRG, almost knocking at the door, bringing it back all even. Revitalized maybe Loud now. He looked towards 12, but NRG not done yet. Still have something to say in the matter. Artis, quick work, fast work, less. Still alive. Artis tries to dice him up. The flash not good. This is sloppy. It's not working out here. Aspas delivers a missile to the brain of Victor. Speaking of missiles, Sadak's got one of his own. Oh my God, posts it, finds nothing. And now they're falling like flies. Som still standing, less than Tui's. Got an uphill struggle and a half. The spike's down and they've got everything they want here. Tui's barely got utility to work with. Less, not really much to be seen here. And NRG looking like they want to answer back in kind, shoving it down their throats with 4 alive. And Les looking like he wants to slip away here.
Yeah, to at least scrape some weapons into the next, but what a response from NRG. Going toe to toe, fighting fire with fire here on Fracture.
Brutal.
And they'll get double digits. Aspas 4,200, Sadak 4K. Cowanzine and 2E's going to struggle behind that. And again, it's right down to the wire. 1 round separating them now. Som's 33 HP after that showstopper as well. Sadak desperate to find anything there. Unable to do so. Seeing Loud stacked up towards Dish.
Yeah.
Now they might just clear through the north side of the map once again. Repeat that Thrifty success. A stinger in the hands of Cowanzine though.
Time to mull it over, consider before they stampede. It's only less than Aspas here. Could be a quick rotation from Sadak, but again, keep in mind, his purchase is not perfect. Aspas, perfect. Actually has a gap to work with here too. Out it is! Sent home! Sent away! And he wants more. Aspas hungering for it, fiending for it. And Sadak still got his side. FNS creeps. Oh, the timing! That could have been the death of FNS, but it's not over yet. Aspas is on the hunt. He wants blood. He wants FNS gone, and he's got him gone! Aspas! Digging deeper than before. This could be 12 on the board. Crashes though! Finds 2 back in. And now Aspas and Sadak still standing, but not for long. Crashes! Is it all his to be had? Aspas getting closer step by step, but he's down so low. And time is against him. The chances are going as we speak. An operator recovered and he bows out of the round. This is going to be it. 11 to 11. It's all even.
I can't believe it's coming down to this. Loud will struggle to scrape anything together here. This should give NRG 12.
You can't say Aspas didn't try. My God.
He needed the ace to close that out.
What a terror he was throughout that round, but Crashies answered in kind.
Big response from NRG.
Oh my God, this buy. It puts it on Aspas again. He's got an operator. The rest, the best they've got is a Judge and a Stinger, a Spectre even.
No ults to work with.
Could be crumbling in front of their eyes. This could be so heartbreaking at 11-11 that if NRG finally take the lead here.
The only saving grace is it comes down to a purchase next round. All 5 members of NRG looking to waterfall from drop here. A smoke from 2E's. This clearance are elsewhere on the map. Yeah, the penny has to drop, but
wait.
NRG.
Hold on. What a call this could be. Do they leave Artis to try and sell them a Fable?
The mind game's in play.
But Aspas hasn't left yet. There's still not enough that sold them on anyone else moving from the site. This should keep him present. There is still a chance here for Loud.
They're going to try and fake. They're going to try and draw the rotation with some utility here.
Oh, wow.
But Aspas, he's active. He's clearing tree. He's going to keep 3 members allowed towards A.
Who do we have here? Calzine still sitting
This
towards
stun,
main.
this stun in the paint shell could be devastation. Actually, the paint shell built up a little early. 30 seconds left now, Lauren.
This is down to the wire. This is so pressured. 25 seconds. They have to make a move soon. There's no other option to it. It's time to go. Time to fall in towards the side 2Es. Is there anything that you've got? No! Overwhelmed. 12 is beckoning, but 12 seconds is all that they've got to get that plant down with nothing to stop it. We're in the post plant with 5 standing.
Still got that operator, but Aspas got to be conscious. He's going to find one. Crashes will fall here on the first peak. Loud are going for it.
But where's that next layer going to come from? How do you pry these players out of these corners, even with that operator?
Look at the discipline here from NRG.
Look at this dirty off angle from Som as well. Okay, one's dashed in. Victor ready for it. Oh, and it's perfection from NRG. It's 12 made, and the arena falls silent.
A purchase, yes, but no operator here for Aspas. It all comes down to this. Again, just, you can see some real positives here. The setup, the paint shell, the fault line, the molly. So many opportunities to stall that. The aftershock on top. Ever so slightly off with the timing. And NRG capitalize.
It's OT or it's GG. Loud facing down a terrifying prospect now. In front of their very own. Falling short of the mark by potentially one round. Well, the ult's invested too. They're trying to chase down these 2 players, but Aspas, he's pushed up by Dish. He still has a chance to maybe be the game changer.
No
the
dash,
difference
though.
maker in this. No, he's just got to stand and fight. How much can one man do? Oh my god, maybe just enough to spray. He's praying for it. He's not going to get it. Oh, this answers. Another 4v4. Smoke in towards Sand, and they're going to try and burst towards this. Ult goes in. Going to keep them humbled. FNS holding them back here. Sadak goes down. The trade comes out. The spike now left loose on the ground. It ain't out of the woods just yet. A 3v3. And FNS maybe trying to slip through those smokes, but no, decides against it. Post-plant time. FNS, it's time! And the ult going to come up for the back of it too. He's just pulled so many problems in for Loud. In a 2v3, they've got to put everything into this or it's done for. Kawazine, he's trying so hard for his side. And the 1v1, FNS.
Oh my God!
Kawazine keeping hope alive for Loud.
What a round! What a round from Kawazine. FNS posts up a huge round from him to even get it to that point. I can't believe it. They refuse to give up. And it's 12-12.
There's no way we're here. There is no way we're here.
What is that shot? Ardis slapped on top side, the aftershock. And then the headshot to seal the deal. You can see the frustration.
You can hear the elation though. Christ, these new players are something else. How on earth did he just pull that off?
He's had such a quiet map as well.
Yeah, in the most dire times, he pulls off that. And is that it? Is that how this goes now? The round that changed the fate of Loud? Or is it just a blip on the radar for NRG who carry on forward? 25 seconds as NRG pump the brakes on a timeout. I want to reset that mentality.
And we saw NRG really switch things up in the overtime previously. Loud, likewise.
Yeah.
We know how it went on map 2. So little separating them. Loud once again in a position to play overtime here on Fracture. Closed out 14-12 versus Gen G. Can they do the same again?
A new hope is born from that round, as it's not over yet. 12-12, it's OT time between these two. And oh, ferocious start, but no blood drawn on either side.
Ardis very active, looking for a second opportunity here.
Oh, he's going for it as well. He actually might press that corner, but timing is everything. And already they're on the side. Sadak surrounded though. NRG instantly quelling the crowd, quelling that aggression. Calzine less than 2Es, not having that chance now to set the site, but it's actually less to find Victor.
In front of it, a ton of damage onto Ardis as well, forced him completely away from sight.
They've actually got side control to an extent here. A tap on the spike to draw the first fight, but they lose it. FNS this time will not miss towards Calzine. It's less than 2Es.
They must have heard that jump.
Centimeter apart, really. The spike not the focus, they need a pick. There's just too many bodies and they're falling. NRG look pissed off, they look mean about it. FNS individually, huge impact.
2 massive rounds back to back from FNS.
That's vengeance right there from the last one.
FNS hasn't been placing these aggressive traps. You see how long it takes for Loud to realize they need to deal with that. Sadak punished for it. Ardis as well, rewarded for his aggression early on. Can NRG drag this across the line? Aspas noted here, no operator.
No.
Tag comes through. He'll be stunned up, has to respect this.
He does get away, and he has support from Dish, though. He has 2 players up there, so he's certainly not alone here.
First time we've really seen this all-in A-main take from NRG.
Dirty angle from Calzine. Sight now smoked, they're on the way. Spike in the hands, making it through towards sight. Plant's gonna come in, nothing to stop it, no utility to deny. It's down. Pressure starting to mount though. Trying to get away from the site just a touch, leaving Ardis isolated, but that's fine by him. Holding towards main. How do they break back in this for Loud? These seconds passing. A heart-wrenching. Ardis with the first. Aspas! Finding the follow-up towards Som. It's a 3v3. Flash goes in. No one able to capitalize, really. They're stunned up here, but they still can't break through those back 3 less. Thinking about it, and now the time is to strike. He's taken down FNS, and now he takes it all down. We go again. It ain't over. Loud refuse to lose, and NRG once again must face the music and go back in.
The full 5v5 retake here from Loud. This execute, first time we've seen it this well choreographed. This Aspas to be the deciding factor here from Loud, less to seal the deal. A beautiful take from NRG as well. So much value just on it, but they're so proactive behind these 2 smokes. They just can't hold on to it.
And the pace is quite quick. Making no mistakes this time.
FNS spotted.
No subtlety. What? FNS is still good for a kill. That's obscene to me. Victor already considered. This time, there's potency to this hit. They're clearing the site early.
Eyes on Ardis. And let's find this kill on the flank again. No, Ardis has punished it.
Oh my god, and that's potentially a huge avenue open. Feeling surrounded. Is there any safety to fall back to for Loud? Time ticking, but getting ever closer. That's a problem. Calzine burns alive! Som got it pinned towards default. Aspas tries to turn the flash, but Som there! That's the time for Som! That's his moment to shine. A quiet performance, sure, but the moments are hitting now with 14 made again for NRG.
NRG do such a good job. I was just crediting how well they utilize these smokes, how much they achieve behind them. And this time around, the util coming through forces this plant to be safe, forces Loud into a position where they have to commit towards his sight hold. And with Ardis punishing that flank, it's so difficult for them to hold on to. NRG, another chance to close it out.
How much do Loud have left here? So many times now forced into this position. Digging their way out twice. A 3rd time now asked of them. Sadak, how much have you got in the tank now? An attempt made towards B. Ardis springboards off the back of the knife, tries to take the position towards tower. Less unrelenting, but will fall. The trade there for Sadak, and it's just mayhem towards the site. Loud is still getting bodies on the ground, though. Guaranteed!
Oh my gosh!
Holds the line! And once again, it's FNS! This time in a 1v3. A tap on the spike. No one wants it. Oh, they've done it again! This game is bound to go on. Loud, how many times will they do this?
How is Cowanzine still alive? How has he still got ammo? It's unbelievable what we're seeing here. A massive round from him.
God, this matchup between these two is just second to none. I don't care what finals we get, I don't care what tournament point we're at. This is one of the greatest matchups we've ever had.
And it sets the tone for both teams. Whoever continues here in Sao Paulo. Ardis.
Ooh.
Ever so slight miss on the operator this time around.
Oh, punished though. Could be held in place, no one there to close down on it, but Ardis calling for support now. Feeling that pressure, and he uses the smoke criminal, flies in, takes out Ardis, and now FNS. No way, no way, he finally falls. It's a 2-for-1 trade. A 4v3 now favorable, make it more. Crashies and some. Insurmountable odds against them, but Cowanzine in trouble. We'll get at least a tag onto him, I think. But he's still standing. Holding the way back through here. I don't know if someone Crashes can find a way back into this. 2 on site to get past. They take the lead. Loud, back with the upper hand.
It's such a fast and furious exchange here in overtime, Lauren. Both teams throwing themselves on the line. Loud now with a chance to convert. On the back of Aspas, he's so sharp. Ardis repositions perfectly. Aspas just walks out of his own cloudburst.
See the smiles creeping onto the faces. Quickly to be refocused and wiped off because there is still a task at hand here. They are not clear yet. And Aspas will be once again noted.
The switch up here might even be isolated, yeah.
Counter flash, yes, but nothing to make of it. Sadak on the swing, it's messy, but he will get FNS. It's actually Crashes to find Sadak. This is a bit of a problem. It's a 4v3.
County?
What? Oh my God! Hurrying at 2 there! He's made it possible! It's a 2v2! You can ask no more of that man, but 2Es and less. Up against Som and Crashes. Som's angle. Oh my God,
He got spotted in the smoke.
He slipped away, he's kept his life though. But they're both on the site, they're both cornered here. They only know of one. 2Es looking for that jump spot, finds nothing. The smoke's keeping them somewhat hidden for now, and that time slipping away. They've got to get a move on. And the swing, the double swing is perfect. Oh my God, this game, it refuses to end. It keeps going. 15-15.
It's unbelievable.
I
I talked about Loud being stretched to the limit by Gen G. Scrap that.
Cowanzine, man, how did he turn
Was he
that?
1 HP? It's just insane. The heroics on display from both teams here.
The highs and lows of this game are second to none. There is no feeling like this either team. It takes one moment, one player to make that difference here. And they are so equally matched. And once again into the breach they go. Loud bring themselves to the moment here. Crashies, Som, waiting, pressure mounting. They're over by Sand already. They've taken a whole lot of space.
Crashes found the opener. Sadak will fall. Loud have to find a response here. They're sat behind these smokes right now.
They have no idea about FNS, and look at the rotations, they're all in. They put full faith in Ardis, and rightly so. He's holding down half of this map and surrounded, and the firing squad is called upon. It's Aspas gone. Oh, the follow-up flash is gorgeous. Good trade, but the numbers so favorable to NRG. This should be 16. Should be taking the lead. Les doesn't like that narrative. Oh my God, he's making it damn good. Oh my God, oh my God, what on earth is going on? FNS breathe a sigh of relief. There's still Tui's.
Got the spike.
40 seconds still as well.
If he gets the plant, he's got the orbital strike. Ardis reading this.
Yeah, he knows.
Can he catch him ahead of CT though?
There's
No smokes left for Tui's.
This is just bold. Tui's. Hold your breath. Try and make that cross.
Oh my God! He's
shot
so aware!
Out of nowhere from Tui's, and now a 1v1 and FNS is 4 HP. For the right place at the right time. FNS, get your gun out.
Oh,
Tui's!
my word! What are these rounds?
You won't see anything like this again. We ask questions of these players. We put the unthinkable scenarios to them, and they are up to the test time and time again. Look at this.
Was that a 2v5?
It was either 2v5 or 2v4. But if you're an NRG fan, you are in pieces, Tui's. Come on.
We talked about him and Cowanzine having the potential to pull one of these rounds out, and Tui's still delivering them here.
Out of this world. Big info off the back of that knife, though. Normally just noting one, just noting Aspas, for example, but this time seeing a whole different look here.
The Loud dig a little deeper here. Tempered aggression here in A main. Only less to hold down the fort here. NRG should be able to navigate away from that setup.
Shouldn't have lost that last round. Seen crazier things happen in this series, Mike. And away we go, off to the races. Less. First fight lost. NRG are in. The site, by all rights now, should be pretty safe. We know it. Obviously, NRG do not. They still need to go through the list. But this retake, who's waiting? It's going to be Crashies. He could greet them before the exit actually tucks in. Oh my God, Ardis goes down, but it almost plays into the back. Do they still check? Yes, they do. Sadak, brilliant heads-up play. Storm there to help him out, but actually, Crashies has fallen. Victor dives into effect, desperate to help him out, but backs away at the right time. Maybe just Tui's and Sadak to try and pull off again the unthinkable.
Still got a smoke. 24 HP here. Sadak has to lead the charge for Loud. NRG tucking in now.
Shot and a half, FNS, big work, safe pair of hands. Tui's at 24 HP, probably the death of him now. First player seen, second considered, we go again, Mike. Inseparable by all rights, we can't say it enough. 16-16.
We're in round 33.
I hope you didn't have plans for later, mate. Or having a voice, potentially.
I don't want to leave.
No,
I don't want it to
chain
end.
me to the desk. We'll keep going, I don't mind. Such violent delights between these two. Individuals out of character, step-ups from players. I mean, FNS has elevated beyond expectation. We've had on the other side less huge pop-off rounds. Tui's incredible clutches. It's had it all. And once again, we go back in.
Sadak here to plant the seeds. Now, 4 members of NRG this side. Aspas will get close to this trap. There's a big gap in the defense right now for NRG. Deal with the trap, and they follow through it. FNS could be isolated here, Lauren.
Yeah, and he is mowed down into the blender. Sadak with a follow-up too.
And another.
Tell me where. Maybe straight through the smoke at this point. Looking for a response to Crashies. Not gifted one though. Time to be purchased on the plant. Good utility there. Crashies willing to dive in though, but the second round is going to hurt. It's going to chunk him down. Aspas! Huge round. Crashies the only one alive, barely breathing. The walking wounded. And now to be the walking dead. Less closes it down the account and gives once again Loud the advantage. Series points.
And the free first blood means there's so much utility for Loud to dump on that spike. One more shot to seal the deal here for Loud.
God.
What is that second?
Oh, that's unfortunate for Victor, isn't it, really? Feels
Rough
quite
scenes.
bad.
Rough scenes.
Oh my God, 16-17. This is something else to me. Deep breaths for NRG. And hold tight for Loud. 17 rounds by their name. The one that's so evasive is now, but the rotation, the timing on this is massive. Yes, he'll note the trap, but that's fine.
I think he's far enough away to updraft. I think he has.
Yes, he is quick to this, and they are sitting deep. Don't want to allow any of these picks to come in. NRG will probably get a plant from this, but they will not be safe from these deeper post plants.
Roll your minds back. A full 5v5 retake previously for Loud in this very situation.
The tension building, the plant comes in, and they question the discipline.
Tagged up heavily on the flank. He has to peel away.
He does. Now it's meant to be a big factor here. Sadak, though, isolating Victor towards CT is massive. It opens up a way back in. Artist tries to give himself a little bit of a one-way to play with, but it's Som who's going to benefit as well. Ooh, the timing! Crashies finds Sadak, and maybe it's all but done! Crashies and FNS, the last two alive! And they've got their work cut out to say the least. FNS, the timing ain't there, and it's over!
My God!
Loud have poured their hearts and souls into this game! The crowd is on their feet! The Brazilian hope is still alive!
What a series! What a close! Absolute madness! NRG giving it everything they had. So little to separate these teams today, Lauren.
The legend of El Clasico continues. These two teams providing some of the best Valorant you can ever see. NRG putting up a brilliant performance. But of course, the team we're here for right now is Loud.
Crashies and Artists trying their best. What a performance out of both of them. FNS stepping up towards the end of Fracture.
But look at that.
You can hear the reception here. What an exhausting series to have to endure. But what a relief.
Finally breaking ahead. These two teams so inseparable till this point. Second to none, bringing the highest quality games you can have. I mean, this is one for the books, certainly.
Absolutely. One of the best series of Valorant.